What is up, everyone? Luke McGuire here. Hopefully you can see me all right now. Good morning from Australia on Wednesday. Good evening to all my American friends. And also, I think it's good evening for all my friends in the UK, Europe. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, guys? Hey, Monty, Lynn, Brad, Stan. Everyone here today. There's a lot of you guys. I love seeing the activity. Again, I'm going to be giving away cash prizes to the most active people on today's training. Very good, very good. Thank you so much. I am doing well. Am I still sick? I got over it. If you guys saw in my email, I got some emails that are a bit late over the weekend. I actually had my niece's birthday, got really sick because she's just turned 1. So when you're around a bunch of 1-year-olds, anyone here that has kids, I'm sure knows how they pick up every single bug and decide to give them to you. So that's what happened to me. It's been a bit intense. Joel says it's 7 a.m. here in Australia. Right now it's 8 a.m. Again, Australia's a big country. I think it takes about 6 or 7 hours to fly across the country. It's almost quicker for me to fly to Hawaii from where I am than it is to fly to the other side of Australia. So yeah, it depends where they are and time zones and whatnot. Awesome, guys. I'm excited for today's training. So I see a few people here asking about last week's webinar training. So I sent that out. I know some people said I haven't seen it. Just if you go back and watch in the emails, you can watch that first welcome webinar. Let's just do a little quick recap of where we've been in the first webinar. I will send that out again. But that was all about essentially how do we contact leads the right way, right? Because again, we're getting leads. The whole concept of this is one. Let me make this bigger so you guys don't need to get your magnifying glasses out. One, find leads in Instagram, and then I've showed you how to do that manually or automate it with Profile Mate. 2, we then have our leads. What do we then want to do with them? Well, we need some sort of offer, right? So e-com, local, affiliate, offline, or other, right? And that's what today's webinar is going to be talking about. What the most ideal offer is that can make you the most amount of money the fastest way possible with the minimal resistance, and make it a win-win for everyone. So that's what we'll talk about today. But step 3 in this process is then we've got the offer, we've got the leads. How do we contact them, right? So you can obviously manually reach out one by one, or we showed you ways to automate it. And we actually did built a purpose-built cold lead autoresponder that you can see in just a small section of the first welcome webinar. We don't stay on that section for too long, but there's a lot of training on how to do email marketing the right way, how to actually contact them, what emails should look like when you're reaching out to a cold lead. But again, the cool thing about Profile Mate is that we get our leads from pages or the followings of pages, from locations or through hashtags, and we do this in a way that essentially only goes out and gets leads from people that want to be contacted. Again, with Profile Mate, with Instagram, 1 in 10 users will have their email address as a button on their page that you can click on, and you can get their email address, phone numbers, because they've said yes to Instagram. I want my email public. I want people to be able to contact me. I'm allowing people on Instagram find my email here to reach out to me, right? So that's essentially the overview there. So what I wanted to do now is jump into Profile Mate. I want to do some training for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes here. And the goal is then to find business leads. Now I'll show you again how to find personal leads in this process as well. Everything's so simple in Profile, mate. But I want to show you how to find business leads because essentially we're then going to be reaching out to these business leads later in today's webinar, and with an offer that we can give them that is just such a no-brainer that's going to help them make money, or not help them, it will make them money, it'll make you money, and it's for those that don't have a business, it's perfect for them. So before we get into started with this, can everyone here on today's training as well let me know what niche you're in? Are you doing e-com? Are you doing local? Are you doing offline marketing? Doing affiliate marketing? Have you not got a business idea, right? And you're trying to figure out what it is you want to actually do. So be completely transparent with me where you're at. If you have no idea, just say no idea, and that's fine. That's why you are here on these trainings, to work with us. So cool. So we've got a lot of people in different areas here. Affiliate, no idea. Affiliate, no business yet, just figuring it out. Need a product to sell to local businesses. Brand new, trying to find out the best way. Cool. So we have a lot of people that are already doing certain things, which is awesome, and a lot of people that have no real idea. So what we'll do is we'll ensure that this training will be able to add an additional value to your offer, no matter if you're in e-commerce, local marketing, whatever it might be, or just to your business in general. And if you have not started a business yet, this will be a really great way for you to be able to start converting leads with the most minimal amount of resistance, right? Everything comes down to what is the benefit to the end user, or even to us. I do this every single day. I'm just going to put my mouse on charge because look at this ridiculous Apple. Like, Apple's good at stuff, but this is the most wild setup I've ever seen, that they put the charger under here when it needs charging, instead of like on the front so I can use it. So before I jump into Profile, mate, I just wanted to say, everything we do in life, it always comes down to the benefits. It's one of the best marketing things you can do if you're ever writing marketing copy, if you're ever doing sales, even if you're the consumer. I've taught my brain, and it kind of gets annoying at times, to always think about this. Let me see if I can work this without the mouse. No, but I can probably put that there and plug that back in now. What is the benefit, right? So people don't care about features. No one cares about features anywhere near what people care about the benefit. So a benefit could be, all right, I'll write this down actually. I'll put this on a new page for you guys. Look at that, no mouse life. What is the benefit? It could be more time with the family, more income to do A, B, C, D. Traveling, removing stress, inner fulfillment. These are all different areas. I could go on and on and on, but these are benefits to the person. So every time we do something, there's a benefit behind it. We buy food, it's because we're hungry. The benefit's going to be we're not hungry anymore. Someone goes and buys a Louis Vuitton t-shirt instead of a standard normal t-shirt, which probably is pretty close in quality. Why do they buy the Louis Vuitton one? Because there's a benefit to them in their head that shirt's going to give them more confidence, or they're going to look better, or they're going to be perceived a certain way. I think I saw a study once where someone, they did studies on people that bought brand new shirts, like men that were looking to find a partner. They bought brand new shirts for half of them, and the other half they made them just choose a shirt they'd worn 2 or 3 times. So they were both pretty new shirts. But the guys that wore the brand new shirts, their confidence levels, their success rate in talking to people and getting numbers and all these different stats was way higher, and the only real variable was this brand new shirt, which is wild. And it's also quite sad because, you know, it's the same shirt the next day, but if you've worn it once, people's minds go in different ways. So everything comes down to the benefit. How does something benefit another person? The greater the benefit, the easier it is to sell. So today we're going to be going through essentially what I've seen in the past year or two is one of the greatest benefits you can offer anyone. So more on that shortly. But the first thing we need to be doing is finding business leads, right? Business leads is what we want. So let's just do a real quick example here, and I'll come back around to this at the end, but and go into some more ProfileMate training if there's time, which there should be. But again, with ProfileMate, super easy to find business leads. So this is step one. Remember, we've got our step plans up here. We're going to find leads here. Let's do step one. Now, we can either do this through following, through locations, or through finding similar accounts, right? So what I want to do is I want to find, let's start with locations, right? Let's say I want to find Beverly Hills. I want to search through all users right now in Beverly Hills. So this is going to give me both business accounts, personal accounts, influencer accounts, creator accounts. But I want to start doing a search through that. And then from there in step two, I can actually go in and take out business leads directly, right? Now, if you picked up our Melvio prospect offer, our autoresponder that Neil and I purpose built for ProfileMate, we have included in that. Let me just go ahead and download that, and I'm just going to change something here real quick. Give me 1 second. But yeah, if you've got that, there's also our business leads finder there that uses Google to find business lead emails in any niche whatsoever. 1 second. Here we go here. Okay, cool. Now, let's take that file that we just got, analyze users. What I'm going to do is open a Google Sheets document here so you can see each step of this ProfileMate process. Because sometimes when I do this and I use Excel and don't change the screens over, people then get confused on a step. But again, normally you would just open up a Excel document, open, import and import. Upload here. We're going to drag this across. Put into the spreadsheet. So we got a bunch of user leads here. I only scanned through 70 there, but let's just do this for this example. I'm going to paste that in there in step 2, hit submit, call this Hills LA, and then I want it to be, if I want it to be a business account, I can click that there. I normally just leave everything selected. So we'll let it start doing its searching. And when that runs, what we can then do below our search field, we can actually go in and start to segment. You can see we've got one email here. This section here where it says, is it a business account? All we need to do is click yes. Yes, it is a business account. And then we can download the conditional data, which means it'll download anyone that has, well, right now, anyone that's a business account, it'll download. But say I want their email, I click yes for this as well. And it'll download any business account here. So this will be photos of businesses taking photos that are either in LA or someone with a business account that is in LA or in Beverly Hills, right? So I could do this for any area in the world. Today, we're really focusing on how we can do this for people inside of the USA, because the benefits of this relate to them. But again, I'm in Australia, I can do this from here. And again, we'll do more on that in just a second. But basically, we can download that there because I only uploaded 72 people. But if I continued scanning a bit longer, it would have gone through a lot more. And then essentially, I've got those 3 emails from that. Actually, I may as well just quickly show you it. So again, everyone can see every step. And I forget, I don't know if my friend is on here from last week, but he was turning 83, I believe. So big shout out to him again, if you are on here. I just love seeing people never stop. Reminds me of my dad. He's just never going to stop working. Give me a second. I'm going to open new spreadsheet. File. Import. Upload. All right, cool. So here, these are the 3 business emails for these 3 users out of those 70 people we just scanned. A gynecomastia specialist, professional services and real estate, and an architect by the look of it, right? So that's pretty cool. And now these 3 businesses, even though they're in 3 different industries, there's an offer we can give them that is just going to make that benefit to investment or to committing ratios next to absolutely nothing. Now, one last time, I want to show over here again. You can do the same thing. Say hashtag the word nightclub Vegas, or I could type in just Miami. I could type in Mississippi. I could type in anywhere in the hashtags, and then it's going to search through all photos in that specific area. And then another way to do this that I really like is you put in a local business in any area whatsoever, or even just a so like what's like a who can give me a URL for a business that's in America, or an Instagram account, or an Instagram account that is in America for a local business. Let me just like on top of my head, what's somewhere that I went to last time I was there? Let's say STK Vegas. I don't know what the exact Instagram account is, but let's see. Video if it comes up. No, I've obviously got that wrong. Someone give me, or a gym, yeah, can you give me a gym that's in America? Someone's giving me one down here that I can use. What Instagram account's this? I've got to do this real quick. Okay. STK Vegas, maybe, I don't know. Let's do this one. Magical Solutions. So by simply searching on Magical Solutions in our similar account, it's going to find other accounts, other businesses that are based in America that we can then use to do scans of those, and we can go from there. So there's so many different ways you can use Profile Mate. You can even do it by just literally going through that, the basic way we share, go through the followings of any page and find businesses. You'll often find this, but like again, we used an example the other week of just by searching ClickFunnels, and you can search through all the followers of ClickFunnels, right? And then we can search through those users, segment out the businesses, and then we have business leads there. So that would be step 1. Now, I know I've talked a little bit about how to find the business leads. Now, what is our offer going to be? Now, I know a lot of you said these are the different areas you are in, but what I want to do now is share with you guys the most irresistible offer for any business in the USA that anyone can do outside of the USA that's going to require the least amount of work for the maximum amount of return and it's just so perfectly matched to this system here of cold emailing, or it's not even cold emailing, because again, we know so much about the user, we can actually contact them in a way that is personable but not creepy. If you've watched the first webinar, remember I always said, read the email out that you've written, and if it sounds creepy to you, it's going to sound 10 times creepier to them. But what I want to do now is just essentially share the last part of this puzzle, which we haven't talked about on that first welcome webinar, is an offer. Now, again, if you already have an online business, this could be something that could help add value to your current offer set. And in fact, I think of any person, this is going to add value to their offerings that they can do. And the best part is there's minimal work that you guys need to do. It's very, very automated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite my good friend Brian here. Like, Brian Anderson is one of there's not many internet marketers that stay in the industry for a long time. And Brian's someone that's been there before I've started. He's just got the most insanely amazing community. And I know a lot of you here today are part of Brian's community. So thank you for being a part of mine now too, Brian. I promise you I always will look after them. Essentially what Brian's been focusing on is he went from the launch space, launching some really amazing products, to really focusing on this opportunity that has come up in America. And I've seen a lot of people take advantage of this in America, but I've never really seen how this could be done outside of America until the past couple of weeks when I was speaking with Brian's team. So what I want to do is, I'm not going to say any more. I hope you guys are excited. If you guys are, write yes in the comments. Again, this is something you're not going to see every day, and not many people have the opportunity to learn what you are about to learn. Remember, I'm giving away some cash to the most engaged users on today's training. So give Brian a big welcome. Hey, Brian, let us know in the comments. And Brian, if you are there, my friend, I will let you take the screen. And what I'll probably do, what I normally do is, after I've introduced you, I'll turn my webcam off. But if there's anything that I feel like is imperative for me to say, I will just turn my webcam on, and when there's a moment to pause, I can talk. But what I'll probably do is just let you run with it, because I'm really excited to see this training today again with you. So thank you everyone for being so welcoming as well. Brian, I'll hand it over to you, my friend.
All right, Luke, thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
All right, let's get this. I think my screen is showing. Guys, give me a 1 if my screen is showing okay. And there we go. Let me fix the bottom. Thank you so much. You guys, one of the coolest pieces of software that I've had the pleasure to use, and what a fabulous guy. Awesome. So let's see. Allison, you may. Give me a few minutes, Allison. I see your question. I won't read it out loud. Give me a few minutes, and then it's your call at that point. But thank you for lobbing that in. Hey, Vita, good to see you as well. All right, you guys. Adam Steinberg, you're the man. I love it. Okay, let's do this. So what I want to do is build off where, the kind of the beginning training that Luke just went through. And I want to talk about taking Profile Mate, and I want to talk about how, I don't care if you live in Detroit, New York, I'm in Atlanta, wherever you may be in the US. Last time I saw a lot of the marketers, I was at an event in Las Vegas, and I saw a lot of internet marketers that came over from the UK and from Australia. And I will tell you, you can do what we're gonna show you. If you live in Australia, do this. If you're in the US, give me a 1. If you are anywhere else in the world, give me a 2. From Canada to Australia and everywhere in between. It'll help me understand kind of how to tailor it. But what we're going to show you is a way to take Profile Mate and even some of the other products you may have and really monetize them. I mean, beyond anything you ever really thought about. And we'll be pretty efficient with your time. I just defluffed the whole presentation I wanted to be as much meat as we can and just stay focused. So thank you so much. John Hogan, thank you so much. I see Monica in the US. I see Malaysia, welcome. Marcos is in LA. We got, I don't know, about 60 US, 70% US. I'm guessing maybe 40% international. So here's what we're going to do. We got Colombia. You guys are all over the world, which is phenomenal. Randy Jacobs in Nashville. Hi to Randy. Love Nashville. What a great town. We got Thailand. We have people doing what I'm going to show you, making money from Thailand, from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from Peru, from Israel. I'm trying to think where else. Obviously, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. But there's Spain. There are so many people. There's a guy I spoke to the other day in Mallorca, one of the Balearic Isles just off the coast. Listen, what we're going to show you right now will work 100% no matter where you are. So we're just going to kind of get into this. Ask questions nonstop. I prefer it. Interrupt, ask anything you want. If I can answer it right then, I will. And if I can't, I'll just tell you so you know. So obviously, you're finding businesses with ProfileMate. It's by far the single best software of its kind. There's nothing even close, which is why I was super excited to be involved with Luke today. I don't want to waste any of your time. Right now, I just made these slides on March 14th, so it's a couple days ago. What is that, a week right now? The first 14 days of the month, I paid out $504,000 and some change you see on the screen to people just like each of you, whether you're in the US or not. And I'm going to be honest with you, with ProfileMate, you can absolutely turbocharge your results. Now, this money was paid not to like super affiliates like Luke or names like that, right? But to people doing what I'm going to show you on the webinar, right? People just like any of you. And in 2 or 3 weeks, you could be a slide in this webinar. I mean that. I don't even know most of the people in these slides. I kind of know them online, but at the end of the day, anybody can do it. And for everybody who thinks that 504,000 sounds like a whole lot of BS, I actually went really low. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Alfredo. So, and Terrence, I'm going to hit the businesses. So what I'm trying to do, I'm going to flip the slides really fast. Guys, in the first 14 days, 500,000 plus paid out to members. And with ProfileMate, like I said, you absolutely can turbocharge what you're doing. And then what I wanted to do is, I hate when people make bold claims and don't back it up. So this is my ACH software that I use to pay people. You can see all the different people that were paid out. You can see under the payments column and then the amount they got paid. But if you add that up, feel free to grab a screen grab. It should equal what I said because I did it with the calculator. So I'm pretty certain that it does. And Terrence said, Brian, what's the pitch for businesses? Let's just get right down to it. What's the absolute number one thing every single business, everybody wants? Just go ahead and shout it out. What is that number one thing, Terrence, that they want? This is Terrence Junker, but it could be anybody that shouts it out, right? More cash, leads, traffic, money, money, money. Yep, sales, money, money, money. More than sales, right? More than anything, it's money. You guys are on it. You guys get it, right? More sales, it is money. Why? The whole reason most people are in business, right, is they want to kind of fuel their dreams, their hopes, their goals, right? Yeah, they want to serve the customer, but what I want to do is show you a way where we can make that irresistible offer to all these entrepreneurs across the United States. These are business owners. At the end of the day, they're entrepreneurs. And what do they want? They want money. They need it bad. And imagine if we can dangle the chance, right? We're going to create a story for them where they potentially may get a large sum of money. So let me dive into it. Really quick, I can turn my camera on, but that's me. Yes, we're live, you guys. East Coast, it's 6:34. Somebody asked if this was live. Yes. And listen, I've been doing marketing a long time. Sometimes I do it right. Sometimes I screw up, just like anybody else. Like Luke mentioned travel. Actually, I met him in April. Luke and I were at an event in London together, hung out at a, I don't know what kind of restaurant it was. We were at a restaurant, and then, what was that place? I remember drinking the espresso martinis, which made me stay up all night.
Yeah, I think I was really jet
You
lagged.
strolled in the middle of dinner, and I cannot
Yeah,
remember. It was a good meal, you guys.
it
But
was a
my
good meal, and I
yeah,
spoke about 3 words, I think, because I think I just traveled something like
we
20
had just
something
gone like
hours,
what
and
20 some odd hours, if I remember.
yeah,
It
so I
was
wasn't
it
the
was
best company, but I appreciate you saying that.
no, it was. Well, I am literally getting on the plane in Atlanta. I was heading to Paris and then London in the holidays a couple months ago, and so I do a ton of travel. I no Lamborghinis, no mega mansions for me. I like to hang out on my boat. I just have a modest boat. I'm breaking the law there with too many people on it, but at the end of the day, for me, it's about that, you guys. And super fast. This is the last Brian slide. Everything else is going to be about either you on this call or someone that was on a different webinar. So I've had a lot of success. So what I want to tell you is I don't want to use any of my metrics for you because yeah, it's all going to sound good if I start dangling my numbers. That's worthless to you. Let me tell you this though. I had a job, hated it. I thought I loved it until I realized, God, I'm miserable. And one day I woke up, and I bet a lot of you felt like this, and I just sort of said, I got to get off this roulette wheel, this corporate roulette wheel, and take control of my business, right? Take control of my life. And that's what led me to go from part-time to full-time. And then I did this webinar, and Luke, I bet you'll vouch for this. Guys, this is the most true thing. You know, every now and then you take a gem out of a webinar, right? I'm on this call with Brian Tracy, and he says he's talking about being successful and how you have to move out of your comfort zone. And I probably wrote this down poorly, but this is basically what he said. You're only going to grow, you're only going to get better if you're willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable. Guys, if
Hmm.
that's you, if you're willing to lay it all on the table right now, if you're willing to just literally do what it takes, I promise you, I'm going to show you something, a roadmap for the next 18 months that caused me to walk away from an almost 8-figure business. It's that good. And I
Hmm.
mean that. I literally have virtually walked away and I've been more than full time at what I'm going to show you. It's all I'm doing. I am literally only doing what I'm showing you. And I can't wait for you to kind of start conceptualizing just how good it is. So let's just get
And
down to it. Luke,
I,
go ahead.
I just, I
No,
just,
go
no,
ahead.
no, I just wanted to make a quick point on that statement. That is just so true. And it's interesting. I think of everything that's led from my personal success. It's been literally just going at it. And I actually got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 28. After I did become that guy that you luckily never became, buying Lamborghinis, buying mega mansions, and I was trying to be this what I thought everyone wanted from an internet marketer. And when I did it, I felt so revolting, and I'm like, this is not me. I'm not acting like myself. Went to a psychiatrist, found out that I had ADHD, which I learned it can be my superpower because I can take action and just do things without really psyching myself out, saying no, it's safer not to, it's safer not to. But in the right circumstances like this one, by taking the action, really leads to some life-changing results if you do the work. So I just wanted to make that point there.
No, you're you're right, you guys. And sometimes doing the work, to Luke's point, it's never as easy as you need it to be, right? It's not that we need easy, we need attainable. So what I want to show you is attainable. It's attainable by not just like the top 5 or 10% of you. I mean everybody. If you've never been successful, I see somebody on the call that was at my live event last week, Bambi. I'm pretty sure we met at the event in Tampa. I think it was last week. The days are blended together. Listen, we had 50 people in the room, 55 people, and every single one of them could do over 7 figures. So think about that. So what's unique about what we're doing? Why is that true? Well, we're not selling a product. What we're doing is really super simple to explain. You don't have to be the expert. So you don't have to sell yourself and your background and your credibility, right? And this is the very, very key component to the whole thing, right? Being successful selling anything, whether it's a software product like Luke has, right? Or it's anything else, an information product, a service to a business, article of clothing at a store, it has to be about the value, right? The value has to exceed the price. And I've been saying this for many, many years. When the value exceeds the price, everything falls into place. And so I want you to imagine the value of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 to a business without an ask. You're not asking them to pay anything at this point. How many of you think the business is going to be interested? I mean, I could count them, but all of you know the answer, right? Everybody they want to find that ticket to the next level. They want to find that opportunity. So let's do it. All right, this is the deal, guys. This is it. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes on this background because you need to understand this. The Americans may know most of this, 80% of it. The international will know a little bit less, but I want you to understand this framing is so important. So I'm at an event, Luke, I was at WebinarCon 1 in March of 20 in DC. And you know how you are, you're at an event. All of you guys have been to, many of you guys I suspect have been to conferences and events. And I'm at this event and I'm literally like, I'm disconnected. You know, I'm not on social media. I'm not on my phone. I'm hanging out. I'm getting dinner, grabbing beers, going out to breakfast, networking and talking. And the beginning of the pandemic, it had started, but I didn't realize it. You know, I'd heard about what was going on in China and how it was starting to spread. And, you know, I knew a little bit. By the time I left this event, I arrived, there were no masks anywhere. When I got to the airport leaving the event, March 9th of 2020, I was one of the only people in the airport that didn't have a mask. I was oblivious. I had no idea. And then, you know, it got real fast with everything that went down. I know we all get this part. But so this, what we're going to talk about began right at the very beginning of COVID, of the pandemic. And it was a result of the government in the US. Governments around the world created different entitlement programs or schemes, depending on where you live, right? They created these programs to help their businesses. In the US, the politics was very divided at that time. So you had a president, Donald Trump, who got along with the Republicans, but he didn't get along with the Democrats. And it was like two sides that couldn't agree on anything. This issue, they all agreed on really quickly. Even these people that were so polarized, and they quickly came together and they created a program to help business owners. I call them entrepreneurs, the real heroes in the United States. Over 50% of the workforce in the US works for the SMB space, small to mid-sized businesses. And this program was called Paycheck Protection. It's gone now, but it was the original program. It was there. It was created by a law in the US called the CARES Act. It helped millions of businesses get a piece of $659 billion. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Oh, Joshua Parker, I can answer that for you, Kay. I see your question, but I'll answer it in a minute. I got a great answer for you. So the best part about these were, just so you understand, they were forgivable. They were loans that you could get forgiven. And almost every business who could fog a mirror qualified for the first round. And they helped a lot of people. They did a second round. Less businesses were eligible, but they went away in May of 2021. And you're thinking, Brian, that's 2 years ago. Listen, the law that created it, the Congress and the president got together on something called the CARES Act. It had another program, and I see a few of you saying it. It was called ERTC. And there's a lot of confusion around this, and I'll try to net it out really quick. Employee Retention Tax Credit was created the same day as the PPP. Originally, it was simply an either or. You do PPP or you do this. And yes, it is another program. There were two programs giving out money to business owners because the government wanted to avoid a collapse of all the small businesses, causing all these people to lose their jobs, et cetera, right? So this law, I want you to focus on one thing here. The law said, hey, we're going to give you 50% of the first $10,000 of qualified wages. Let's not worry about that. let's just say 50% of 10,000 is $5,000 plus a little markup for health expenses. So you could get basically $5,000 an employee, right? For anybody you had on the payroll March 12th of 20 through the end of December 31st of 2020. And that was how it started. And originally, this law said, hey, you had to pick, do you want help from the PPP or do you want help from the ERTC? It's your call. You could pick either one. Now, the US, the Americans on this call, they're going to know that like every business in the country did the PPP. By far the most common. It was like 99% of the people did this PPP. It was a one-page, easy-to-do form versus a complex, tedious process. Now, the bummer was most businesses still needed help after the PPP. So fast forward a year, this is like the third change now to the program. The government came out with something called ARPA, or American Rescue Plan, and this dramatically expanded and enhanced this employee retention program. So now businesses that had received a PPP could get this other pool of money, this other bucket of money. Now, the only problem is, I bet you guys will believe this, almost nobody knew about this. The government wasn't telling anybody. There was nobody shouting it. There was no emails or mailers going out saying, you may qualify for this, right? There was nothing at all, right? So now there's all this money. Businesses are potentially eligible. Nobody knows about it. And then it gets a little crazier. They then expanded the time period from only 2020 to include 20 and 21. Officially, March 12th of 20 through September 30th of 2021. And if you were a startup, a new business in the pandemic, you could go all the way to the end of 2021. And instead of $5,000 a pop, now businesses are getting, they may be, right? This is a key phrase, may be eligible for up to $26,000 an employee. So for the non-Americans here, you see W-2 employee and you may go, what is a W-2 employee? That is simply a tax form for full or part-time employees that are truly part of the company. They're officially employed by the company. There's another word you may hear called a 1099 employee. W-2 or 1099. 1099 are like independent contractors that may work for the company. The program only helped the traditional employees on payroll for the company, which is the vast majority of people. So up to $26,000. So it's a 500% increase in money from the previous year, and still nobody knows about it. Now, this is March of 21. Nobody knows about it at all. I mean, like literally nobody. So it gets interesting. I find out about it. I'm in my accountant's office and I'm trying to, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always trying to pay. I pay my fair share, but I don't want to pay any extra. I want to use any deduction or loophole to pay as little taxes as I can. I already pay a very large number. And I'm talking to the CPA and I said, hey, is there anything I'm missing? And he's going through these things. And he said something to me and he said, Brian, have you looked into or done the ERTC? And I go, no, I've never heard of that. Now, I'm pretty up to speed on things. And I go, Danny, I've never heard of it. He goes, it's another program. It's like PPP. They're just changing the law. You should be eligible for that as well. So I said the natural next question, well, how much do you think I can get? And can you help me? He's like, yeah, about 125,000 you're probably eligible for. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then I'm like, can you help me do this? Or can I just do it myself? He goes, honestly, Brian, it's pretty complicated. And I hate to tell you this, we don't really do that. So my accountant's telling me they don't do that. And I called a bunch of other accounting companies and nobody did that. And I'm like, wait a minute. No one's heard of it. Accountants don't want to do it. And there's a vast amount of money available for businesses. And I just started realizing that month that the opportunity was unbelievable, right? Absolutely unbelievable. So as I started going through this, I realized maybe the greatest opportunity in my life. And I said, all right, the government's giving away aid money to help businesses that they don't have to pay it back. I'm like, if you're on this call, you may be thinking, all right, how does this help me? So the American government is giving money out to American businesses, and it's not a loan. They don't have to pay it back if they qualify. How does this help me? Well, most businesses don't know about the money. And you may think some of you are somewhat savvy, you're in the know. You and I, we all live in our own little bubble, guys. We're talking to thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses every month. Over 80% have never heard of it, completely never heard about it at all. And it's hard. How does it help you? They don't know about it. They don't know how to do it because it is very complicated. Once again, let me say it again. It is complicated. In fact, most accountants in the US, a higher certification for accounting professionals is called a CPA, or a certified public accountant. And they become licensed by the state and they can practice in front of the IRS, the tax agency. Most of these, they know of it, but they don't do it. Almost none of them do it. And most of them discourage their clients from even bothering because it's a little bit of a challenge. All right, let's stop there. All right, there's a lot of money available. Businesses don't know how to do it themselves. Their trusted advisors, maybe their own accountants and CPAs, aren't doing it. That's an opportunity, right? That is an amazing opportunity. So just like during the gold rush, right? You see this miner, right? The miners needed help. That's where you get the old sell picks and shovels, that phrase from. Or Levi Strauss started selling jeans back then. Well, business owners need help. They need you, they need myself, they need all of us. It doesn't matter what. I see a bunch of different ERC companies on here. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I am not here to convert you or any of that kind of stuff. Do what you're doing, right? But they need you and me, any of us, to help them get the money they deserve. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Each of you have the power to help American entrepreneurs, just like each of us. These are small business owners employing families, right, across our country, get access to money from the government that is not required to be repaid. Oh, and by the way, most of them don't know about it. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what else does. I am telling you, it is absolutely ridiculous. It is unbelievable. Okay, ready? Let me tell you guys, unbelievable. I've been doing products and services to businesses since 1996. I did SEO in the late 90s pre-Google. I was really good at it. It wasn't hard, by the way. Every one of you would have been good at it. I did AdWords the month it came out. I was on every trend early. I was there, timing. None of those get close to this. There's no confusion. Every business understands, oh, I have 20 employees. You mean I might get up to 500,000? I'm interested. Next, right? It's that easy. So I ask you, each of you, could you do it? Because I knew I could do it. I knew I could refer businesses. I couldn't do the work, but I knew I could identify them and find them. I want you to think about Profile Mate. I'm going to keep bringing you back to that. I want you to think about strategies you have to get to the business owner, right? And if you're like me, you're not an accountant, you're not a tax person, and that's okay. I'm not either, right? I know one thing, though, that I'm clear on. There are a lot of ways to maybe solve this problem. You could hire a team in, let's just say, India or Philippines or another country, right? You could write some software that maybe does the accounting. All those are fine, but I'm going to tell you this. this is very regulated in the United States, right? Accounting and government money, right, falls under the jurisdiction um, of a lot of three-letter agencies. And this isn't the FTC. We're talking Department of Justice. Um, you have to be very much focused on compliance. And so I acknowledge that I am not an expert in this area. A matter of fact, I'm on the low end of the knowledge curve. And so what I did is I said I needed to build a portfolio of accountants because I needed experts that live and breathe this, that are going to do this work. So I say last year, I haven't updated the slide. I actually started this in, I guess, roughly April. It was end of March, beginning of April of 2021. And that's when I just, the shift hit me, and I partnered with a CPA firm I had bumped into on the East Coast. And I live in Atlanta, so I bumped into the CPA firm. I really connected with the team, some of their partners, and I'm like, I am gonna bring in so many deals, right? I was going bananas. I'm like, you're gonna give me what? How much? Okay, right? So I generated 705 deals my first month. 700 deals. Now, I don't think I've ever generated 700 deals cold, like you, from cold businesses that I had no relationship with in a month ever, going all the way back to the 90s, right? When there was no competition for anything. 705 deals. I didn't do any of it face to face. I did it all remote from my office. And you know what happened? You probably already can guess. Some of you know, I can tell. Here's what happened, right? Here's what happened. I generated all these deals, and the accounting firm that I had selected, they were good, man. They were CPAs. They were everything you think you wanted. They just couldn't handle the volume. They were great people, but they broke under the pressure. And I had just gotten started. So fall of 2021, I had to go back to the drawing board and redo this thing. I had to redesign how to deliver the solution to the business owners. And I knew that I needed a strategic relationship. I knew I wanted to be, in this case, more than an affiliate. I tried the affiliate route. I needed to help build the mousetrap in a way, right? In a way that would scale. And I exhaustively interviewed CPA firms. I talked to big ones, small ones, and I learned a few things. None of the firms were set up to handle volume. As soon as I started saying 5 to 10,000 deals a month, they looked at me like I was like an alien from another planet. And I was thinking, myself and a small team, we'd easily bring in a couple thousand deals a month, giving away free money, right? They were like, we could do maybe 10 to 15 files a week, maybe 20. And I'm just thinking, what? Right? And so there was this massive disconnect from the accounting world. They weren't set up to handle large number of businesses, right? So what I did is I had a friend who was a vice president at an investment banking background, and I approached him, and he was a pretty wealthy guy, been successful on multiple companies. And I told him what needed to happen. I needed a bench of CPAs and staff accountants. I needed a front end company that can handle the volume and doing the follow up. And so what happened is we built the perfect company right out of the gate with him running it. And then I cut a deal to generate more commissions, more support, a seat at the table. Bambi will tell you, I think I see her on the call. She was in the offices last week with us, and I have full access to the entire team as if I run the whole show, which I do not, by the way. So you may be thinking, all right, Brian, I'm getting what you're saying, but I'm not a business. How much money can I make as a partner, a referral partner, an affiliate, whatever we want to call it? Is that a fair question? Just say yes if that's a reasonable question, because if that's where I want you right now, I want you to be asking, how much money can we make, right? How much money can we make? So, how much money? Money said it. How much money can we make? Guys, On average, between 1.8 and 4% of the amount collected. That's on average. It can be a little higher, right? But what is a typical business? So my younger brother has a heating and air company in Florida. He has 11 employees, 4 or 5 trucks, 4 or 5 vans and a pickup, I think. And they do air conditioning, right? That's what he does. He fixes them, he installs them, etc. Anybody want to take a guess at how much money my brother received from the program? All the work was done. It was vetted by an attorney, and the work was done by a certified public accountant. I had to strictly stay 100% compliant, above board. I didn't want to cut any corners. I didn't want the cheapest option. I wanted the best option. So how much money did my brother's company get? This is an important question because it's going to go in how much money can you make? All right. I love it. I'm reading this stuff. All right, Marcos, 200,000. Mark Z said $150, 500,000. So yeah, you guys know the maximum would have been 11 times 26,000. Now in his case, he, 2 employees were ruled ineligible, and there was only certain revenue that qualified. He received $204,000. Now let me put it to you like this: $204,000. If I was serving the deal up, I would have made about $10,000 in commissions. In case you're asking that, you probably are, and that's okay. So how many checks like that do you want? Probably a lot. But my brother, he's trying to compete in a tough market. He said, Brian, I could use another new truck or 2. I could use 4 more employees that are doing installs so I can be competitive and take more business. So he's investing it back in his business. Now, I went a little deeper, and I said, I did this the first couple of weeks of December, and I said, let me sample some deals. The average deal in my 432 deal sample, somebody just asked, how many deals have you done? Over 27,000 right now. Over 27,000. So when I did this math in December, $159,108.85. That was the average deal. The largest one in that math was 2.2 million, which was for a nonprofit in California. So that's the average, and that's the biggest, right? All right. So the lowest payout was about 2,800. The average payout was about $7,000. So I want you to think about that. On an average deal, there was a low payout and a high payout. Why the range? It's all about choice for the business. The company lets businesses pay less for the work if they pay up front, or they can pay a deposit, kind of pay in the middle, or they can pay the full price and just pay it only on the back end. And then they also offer the business the opportunity to get advanced funding so they don't have to wait on the money. And we can talk about that if it's interesting later. So as you can see, there is a lot of money on the table. I gobs of money. What if I told you that I typically do 10 to 20 deals a day personally to me? 10 to 20 deals a day, every single day. I don't meet with any of them. I don't talk to them at all. So I want you to start thinking about it. And then I want you to ask yourself this question: can I actually do this? Maybe you haven't been successful at some things. I haven't been successful at everything. I am not very good at e-com. I got all kinds of stories about how much money I generated, but my profit was almost zero. So let me tell you guys, ask yourself, can I do this? And as you do, let me show you a simple little chart. A simple chart. All right. Here we go. Gary, I'll teach you a better way. Gary said, I haven't done any in 4 months of cold email. Monica, watch this. I want you to identify prospects. I want you guys to name a software suite that you may be involved with that could help you find business prospects. Does anybody have a guess on a good name that you could throw out here? Let me see what you got. Monty for the win. Actually, my friend Mitzi. Mitzi D was first, then Monty. Tons and tons of people. Yes, Profile Mate, right? You're going to know all kinds of information. So when you identify the businesses, you have one goal. I want you to stop at step 2. You need to get them to fill out a form, right? Identify business. We know how to do step 1. And if you need help on that, I have some ways I can help you. I can solve step 1 for all of you 100% guaranteed. Step 2, we got to get them to fill out a form. Well, I've done almost 100 million online getting people to fill out a form. I have a few ideas on how to do that as well, and I can help you. It's not hard, but I want you to imagine step 1, step 2, walk away, do it again. Step 1, step 2, walk away, do it again. You can do other things. We can talk about steps 3 to 5, but I want to keep it simple. And let me skip this and let's just talk about, and I took the dollar amounts out of these slides because I didn't want to sit on a webinar and drop some of the numbers that I would have to drop at you because it starts to get ridiculous. This will not be here forever, but these numbers are so ridiculous, so I tried to make them about deals. This is a nice thank you. This guy is so kind. He sent a nice thank you. He's blown away because he's finally having success. Larry, same thing. He's blown away because what I'm going to show you later is how we help you make the money. There's a little trick that's going to come in. Scott, I haven't met this guy, but his CPA kind of vetted everything out and loved it because it was CPA centric, right? Obviously, one CPA likes it, and he basically got him to become an agent and to focus on this. One of the earlier deals we did was a health and wellness company. They did cryotherapy, like super cold, think ice, ice stuff. They had 24 employees. So I want you to think about 24 employees up to 26,000 each, and you're making a percentage on that, right? Think about that. 24 employees up to 26,000. Burgess, one of our agents, I've actually never met him. He's just one of those guys that's super active, super involved. He's done countless deals. When I made this slide, he had done 7 deals, but you get a flavor. A retail store, a renovation company, another retail store. He's done some restaurants, lots and lots of training, right? Training is key. We do a lot of restaurants. They're low-hanging fruit, so to speak. Ray is in Georgia, just north of Atlanta. Susan's in California, got a doctor's office. Amanda, I don't remember where she lives. This is like a beauty kind of niche, eyelash extensions. Don't know a lot about it, but 12 employees, lucrative. I met this guy for the first time at our live event last week, Mark Klipsch. He's done 30 or 40 deals right now. So I want you to think about that. This was his first one, which was a manufacturing company for wood floor, 18 employees. Steve has done a lot of coffee shops, cafes, and restaurants. That's him fishing with the red snapper there. Cynthia with the grocery store. Notice the variety of businesses outside of the usual local marketing angle. Naomi, she's a West Coaster. She's done I made this slide in December. She had done 11 deals. Now, 5 of them were owned by one person. And what's fascinating is that person for the 5 companies got over $1 million. Naomi made over $50,000. I think it was 60 odd thousand. So I want you to start thinking about these numbers. I'm not making these numbers up, right? So Frank, I've never met him. He did 16. I made these slides December, January, and look at that, 16 deals. And you can see I had to blink. I blinked the names out. A litany of deals. Antoine, he's done a few more since I made this. What's fascinating about this guy, he's got a team helping him. One of his deals was a nonprofit in California that I mentioned earlier. he hit $100,000 on a single deal, paid to him directly. So just a marketer thinking about how can he help entrepreneurs and nonprofits across the country. And when he flipped his mindset from how much money can Antoine make to how many people can I help, you start to see results like this. Tommy's got another dozen since I made this slide, 29 deals. Remember, 3,000 to 7,000 on every deal, not bad. Gina down in Florida, I haven't met her. She's done 11. Mark, who I mentioned a few minutes ago, he had 30 when I made it. He's over 40 now and rocking. I met these guys at our live event for the first time. They had done 18 when I made the slide and counting, and husband and wife, and they're just crushing it. Another husband and wife, Bud, and his wife Claire, truly just rocking it out. They're making they are doing something very unique. Every one of their deals is super high paying, so they're averaging much higher than a lot of other members. So they have a unique little angle they're doing. Stanley, I've never met this guy. When I made the slide, he's done 31 deals. I don't mean he's submitted 31 deals. I mean he's been paid on 31 deals. So very, very point. Somebody said, Brian, what's the saturation rate? There's about 10 to 12 companies in the country doing the work with various marketers maybe on top of or below that, if you will. There's 33 million potential businesses, Joshua. I am still seeing 80% plus of our deals that come in every day not having ever heard of it. So it's probably like, I would liken it to SEO in like 2003. Like, people are in the restaurant space, they're hearing of it. Outside of the restaurant, the vast majority of people have not heard of it at all. It's fascinating. Non-US, Sean, he's done over 20 deals, all using LinkedIn and email, mostly email. Jeremy has done 12 plus deals. Herschel has done 16 plus. He's in the Southeast United States. Roland has done 45 plus deals. You guys, I could put 500 or 1,000 slides like this with different people's faces and a different number on it, because over 60% of the members, when I last did an analysis, had actually made money. I want you to think about that number. I'd love to tell you it was 100, but it's not. There's probably 10% of the members that never even did a thing, right? But over 60% of the people have made money. Fascinating. So I want you to focus on, I'm telling you, no matter what you decide to do, listen to what I'm saying. Focus on helping people and not yourself, and you will find you helped yourself as well. I mean it. Herb's doing just that. He's been focused on helping churches across the country. He's done 12 churches. 2 or 3 of them have paid him over $40,000 each. So, monster kind of deals. He's making a lot of money. Norma's had 15 close. She just had 10 or 11 more hit. Another 100,000 plus to her in fee revenue coming to her. I mentioned this guy. He's the guy that had the fish a few minutes ago. Looks like he had 13 deals in 2022. But there's so many. I could literally do slide. I skipped some of our biggest earners. Our number one earner, Scott Hall, he does 100 plus a month, 100 plus a month, and he has a full-time day job. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So Jack asked, is this money, Brian, that the business doesn't have to pay back? Yes, Jack, it is in actuality a refund on their payroll taxes. So it's based on employee counts during certain time periods and qualified earnings, etc. And it is literally money that not only doesn't have to be paid back. Let me show you. I think I have my checks. I saved mine. Mine were nothing to get excited about for one of my companies. I could show you. I could turn the screen on and actually show it to you. Why don't I do that? It'll keep it real. Let's see. Where's my screen? There's about 18 months, give or take, right now left. Early 25, but that's, let's see. Yep, hang on, I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what happens. All right. All right, let me see where to hold the This is a check. Notice it's written on the United States Treasury. It's another check, and another check, and another check, and another check, and they're all falling down. Now, what I want you to notice about these checks, this one's for 12,000 and change. Each check is actually for a certain tax period. Down here, you should see it's for third quarter of 2021. So it's a specific time period, and that's what happens. The business owner gets actual physical checks, not a direct deposit. Not a direct deposit. And what's important about that is, guys, that's as real as it gets. Those are checks on the US Treasury, right? Doesn't get any easier at all. So Amy Cooper said, Brian, how do the overseas people get checks? The overseas people, the non-US, can earn commissions, but only businesses in the US are eligible. Let me be clear on that. And so let me just kind of net this thing out. So I created an offer, a product, if you will, because I wanted to harness the vast power of all of our past customers. And I called it RPS, which morphed into RPS Express. And the reason it's RPS Express, I'll tell you in just a minute. But just in the last couple months, all right, next button. There you go. RPS Express has paid, not to affiliates, to members, over $2.4 million in commissions to real people. Not big name marketers. Sorry, Luke. These are people on the webinar. On the webinar. I want to be very clear about that. It's very important to distinguish this. Because, yeah, I've paid gobs out to affiliates and commissions and stuff. I don't actually know what that number is. But I can tell you this number because I put somebody to work on this. This is like that 500,000. This number is rapidly increasing. And it is going up by several 100,000 every 2 weeks. 300,000 to 600,000 every 2 weeks. And then slowly rising. These are monies being paid, Amy, whether they're in the U.S. or they're not in the U.S. via wire or ACH into your bank account. These are commission payments for people that maybe used ProfileMate, right? Maybe let's think what they could do. Maybe they had a relationship at a business. Maybe they knew somebody. Maybe they sent a cold email, a LinkedIn. There's a lot of strategies, right? So, and what happened is they then referred the deal to the accounting firm. The accounting firm did the work, and they received a commission. And that's kind of what happened. Let's see, I'm gonna skip. Okay, on this chart, after step 2, the team will gather the docs, the CPAs and accountants will do the work, they will send it off to the IRS, the business may pay then, they may get in advance, they may wait. It's a mix, and that's how we get paid. Before I go any deeper, let me ask you, give me 3 sevens if you think, a 777, if you think this is truly a tremendous opportunity. I'm going to be honest with you. I know a few of you on this call I've met in person, like Vita and a few others. I have literally walked away from everything I was doing to focus 100% on this. When I mean 100%, I am 7:30 in the morning till 11 most nights working on this. It is that unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like this. I'm seeing them, right? Yeah, Adam, who was in our Tampa meeting, I know, right? Adam, yeah, you were. I just saw it. He goes, Brian, it's why I went to Tampa. He was at the meeting. So, yep. Anybody, no matter where you live in the world, you can live on a cruise ship, you can live in Antarctica on a research station, in Australia, New Zealand, in Peru, it does not matter. You can refer businesses the same way and get paid. They just have to be US businesses. So let me dive a little bit deeper. I'm seeing a lot of sevens, you guys, right? All right, here we go. If you want to see the company, The company is ERTC Express. The website is ertc.com, and you're welcome to go there. ertc.com. Yeah, you got to I picked up, you're early when you pick up the 4letter.com, right? Here's the offices. I know Adam and Bambi and a couple others were there at our meeting a week or so ago in Tampa. Now, I'm currently in Atlanta, third floor corner of the Atlanta office. I am sitting as we speak. And I will tell you this, guys. We are about to triple the size of the Atlanta team. We're going to grow to about 300, the Tampa team, to about 300 employees there, the entire third floor. We are one of the largest firms in the country focused on this. There are other companies too. I'm not here to denigrate them. I'm sure they're great. We are focused, though, for us, it's a little different. First and foremost, we are going to focus on compliance. We're going to be very strict and focused on dotting the I, crossing the T, having every file reviewed only by accountants and signed off only by CPAs. And they get triple checked. That's our power of 3. This is so important. That's me front left, CEO John in the middle, and some of the other team from sales and support, payroll, just all kinds of different people on the team. Now, what makes us different? I talked about compliance, I talked about CPAs, and I talked about the whole triple check, the power of 3. There's one other thing. We don't have to chase money from the customer. If you've ever worked, and I've done this for 25 years, if you've ever worked with local businesses, the last position you want to be in is chasing the check. You don't want to have to worry about that. You want to get them on a credit card pay, an automatic bill. You do not want to be in a position of running down the check. We designed a system where the money from the American government goes to a middleman, and the middleman, call it like an escrow, the middleman pays us and pays the customer. It removes any chasing the check. So important, you guys. I have talked to a few friends and some new affiliates that came on board that were working with other companies, and they told me that 40% of their deals have not paid, and the customers just aren't paying. And I'm fascinated because we don't actually have that problem because all the money goes to a middleman. So, once again, we're the wholesale side. What I'm talking about right now is the wholesale side of ERTC.com. No software, no offshore, American CPAs in Atlanta and Tampa, accountants, large staff, escrow process, refund calculator. Even myself and one of the CPAs gave a presentation to the American Institute of CPAs. You could probably Google it, October of 22, October 26, on complex non-gross receipts eligibility for this. We're really diving in deep. We've sponsored all kind of large-scale organizations across the country. And at the end of the day, we think that while there's a lot of ways to slice this, we think our compliance-centric model keeps us above board, keeps the customer and us safe from audit, from risk. If we do get audited, we have a whole research paper on eligibility, all the kind of things that you want to have if you're ever in that kind of position. So let's see. Let me net it out. This is affiliate marketing applied to the real world, guys. This is an affiliate marketing concept meeting lead gen. You generate a lead, you get paid an affiliate commission on every deal that gets approved and paid out. It's very unique. If you had asked me, Luke, a couple years ago, would you ever come on a webinar and talk about accounting? I would have been like, no again. Luke, it's literally the bane of my existence.
Same for me, honestly. And then
tell you, man, it's the worst for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. So all that aside, y'all, all this aside, 3 training modules. Module 1, the who, what, when, where, and why. It's super easy. If you ever said, I don't like complex, I'm going to make it so easy. Module 2, getting to the money. This is the one you care about. This is how you make money. All the simple training, the advanced training, digging deep with case studies. and then getting the deals. 2 parts, generating leads, right? I've got something called the circle formula. I'll show you, got some funnels. You can implement all this. I added a 4th module a couple months ago, only because I'm on a webinar, and Luke, one of the most common questions is this: hey, what niches are all the really big deals in, right? Which I get, right? I mean, I love the way they were thinking. And so I went back and I audited all out of thousands and thousands of deals. I audited where are the biggest deals? Where are the deals? What are the opportunities where the members are making 30, 40, 50 grand, if not 100 grand or more? And I came up with a list and I showed some examples and talked through it. I'm telling you guys, if you understand just this module, you can cherry pick multiple 5-figure deals all day long. All day long. We give you all kinds of other materials, scripts, flyers, leave behinds, all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of stuff. Richard, you'll be good. You'll be good. Luke will help you. Don't worry about it. Now, I've got a bunch of bonuses. If you want the link right now, Richard said, Brian, I got to go. I don't want to go, but I got to go. Give me a 1 or say link, please. Because what I want to do is, Luke, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I'm gonna make sure you have it. And let me do this. Perfect. Let's give it out to anybody that's motivated and wants the link right now, right? If that's you, you know you want the link right now. You don't want to wait. It's kind of me too, you guys. At the end of the day, if you're the don't want to wait kind of guy or gal, right, and you want it now, let us know. All right. So let me type it in. Luke, I just sent it to you. And anybody that anybody that asks, I'm totally cool. Let's give it to them. And I'm gonna do some bonuses, but I want to, for Richard and a few others, I want you guys to have this right now. First is a website. I've been through like 6 iterations of this. If you want to see the site that you will have, go to ertc.com. It is a version of that site, right? And it goes through a bunch of stuff, examples, case studies, blah, 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 but it ends on this very, very, very important thing. Guys, this is the opt-in. The goal for each of us is to make sure that you fill this out, right? That your lead fills this out. And that's the point of the website. The point of the website is that at the end of the day, everybody wants free money. This is no obligation, no commitment to get started. And then this gets them locked into you in the system and ready to go. So this is kind of the point of the website. That's kind of the first bonus. Second bonus, well, part 2 to the first bonus is we're going to set it up and install it. As a matter of fact, it's going to happen in real time as soon as you sign up. It's created automatically on the fly. You don't have to worry about it. Some of you are probably better at websites than I am, and that's totally cool, but I promise you, there is no step that says build a website to make money. There is not a step for that. You're not going to get paid for doing that. So stay focused. If you have ADHD like I do a little bit, stay very focused on step 1, step 2, rinse and repeat over and over again. If you do that, I don't remember who it was earlier in the call that said 1 or 2 deals a day is what he wanted. It's very easy as long as you stay locked into this. We have people like Errol from London, all over the world, retired pastor. We have people like Gail in New Jersey. Honestly, it blew me away when she said this. She said, Brian, this opportunity is the very best thing I have ever seen. And I'd never been told that before, ever. And so I wrote it down. I said, hey, can I use your picture? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And there is a problem, and it comes up about every 10 days or so. We literally have to chase members for their wiring instructions. I know you find that to be, you guys are going to laugh, but every single period, there's 5 or 6 people that we are chasing down so that we can pay them. So I want you to promise me, if you do come on board and you do find this fascinating and you want to do what I call applied internet marketing, you want to take the software you have, the knowledge you have, and apply it to the highest value opportunity I've ever seen, fill out the basic stuff so that we can pay you when you earn a payment. It's fascinating to me. One month I owed $200,000. It was all being held up. I personally called people and asked them if they could fill this out. I sent them a link. It's comical. So I'm going to put the link on the screen. I'm going to give you guys the link. We're going to go through a few more bonuses. We'll answer all the questions. We'll answer every single question. So first of all, the cost. Here's what I did, you guys. The cost of our entire system is over $1,000. I broke it apart. I took the vast majority and put it in a front-end product for $297. It's a one-time fee. This will allow you to get part of our system, plug into the entire team. And I'll mention upsells and things like that to you, none of which are required. They're completely optional. And I really do mean optional. So what I will do is let me go. Let's do this. This question comes up on every call, and I know that somebody's asked it. I probably missed it. How long does it take to get paid? This is an important question, and I never want to miss it. I made it first every time. Fastest person ever paid was 11 days, a guy named Victor S., Arkansas. The average is between 3 and 4 weeks, so I wrote 4 weeks down. Does everybody get that? The fastest ever is 11 days. Average is 3 to 4 weeks. Because Marie just asked, Marie D said, Brian, can you talk about how quick the process is start to finish? And I will talk about that. Let me hit the bonuses and we'll talk all about that. I've got countless slides, members making money, big deals. This guy did a 500 employee restaurant, multiple 5 figures. This is that guy Burgess I mentioned, just gets in deals all the flipping time. Guys, if you're not in, I want you to reconsider. I want you to think hard because I got more for you. I'm not done. I've got more bonuses. I've got live training. I've got a Facebook group that's unbelievable. Listen, Facebook group with other great people that are supportive and helpful. We do real training multiple times a day. There's an opportunity to go even beyond this, but this included in the base is 3 training calls a week. I want you to know that we are going to support, embrace, and help you. This is literally the difference between people who make money and people who don't. Always. Tracking the leads. Tracking. So JVZoo, great lead tracking. There's other softwares that track leads. We had to design a system that didn't just track leads. So Luke, I had to be able to track the deal came in from Marie or Julie, and then, the deal's in processing. The deal's with an accountant. The deal's in QC. It had to be able to track by stage. So we had to build all that with all the nuances. And then, by the way, we had to be able to, it's a monster kind of process. How close to the money? Because that's really what people want to know. All right. So I got a little bit more. I've got some more funnels, my emails, my subject lines, which is primarily what I do. You can use them in LinkedIn. I do as well. You can use some of the Facebook ads. You can copy this approach completely hands-free. There's one more thing, and I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna get your opinion on this. So, Luke, the number one disconnect, and you will get it, but not everybody will, is follow-up. Follow-up is like so big. You can't just one time lob it in, right? So we nurture and follow up every deal. Let me explain. I've got 45 in this role right now in Tampa. Here's what they do. As soon as you send in a deal, somebody you probably have never spoke to, they're going to call them right away. First rule is they call them on the phone. They send an email. They use text and voicemail. They will work tirelessly to speak to the person and go through the basics for 10 to 15 minutes, reiterate the entire process, explain how it works, and move them forward. You
Mhm.
pay absolutely nothing for this. It's 100% done for you. And I will tell you the main reason, the main step that has helped me is this right here. Because I generate deals like they're going out of style, but I don't have any time to follow up. I mean,
Mhm.
it's one thing to send an email follow up. It's another thing for phone. Phone is the anchor. And then following
Mhm.
up with text, whatever it takes to get on the phone. This, you guys, is the difference maker. It's so important. It is absolutely the challenge, right? Right? This is the challenge.
100%.
This is the challenge that so many people face. You guys should all see the link on the screen. It says
Yeah.
expressrps.com/go Luke. If you don't see it, look in the chat. You should see it.
Yeah.
Yep, Luke just posted it in the chat as well. So guys, let me say this, and then Luke will just fire off questions. I have had
Mhm.
more obstacles in my career, more excuses, more struggles and mistakes than probably most. You don't really have this because the value of free money is so high that in general, people at least want to know more, right? They do. They want to know more. You're going to make between 15 and 30% of the actual fees paid on every deal. It's very simple and easy to follow system. The roadmap is clear. Thousands of other people have already been down the road. I'm going down that road every single day. And I don't want to keep beating this. This is a super high value affiliate program. 4 and 5 figure payouts on every deal, and you get people helping you. So it's fascinating. I've been talking way too long. I would love to take questions. I'm going to leave this slide up, and
Yeah.
man, we'll just answer questions, Luke, and I'll
Yeah.
flip the
That's
camera up
good.
too, and we can just chit chat and help as many people as we can. And you guys, this
Yeah.
is this
That
is
sounds
as
good.
real as it gets.
And what I want to do as well, I've also got some bonuses as well. And if you picked it up already, guys, I'll make sure you get them, and I'll share them shortly. We'll answer some questions first. But again, I just want to make sure you guys understand how simple this is, and especially with the Profile Mate training that we're doing. If you watched the start of this webinar, you would have seen how I went out and got a bunch of business emails of businesses in the US using Profile Mate. Remember in the last week's webinar, I talked about how every business is just simply an offer and a traffic source. If you're a restaurant, that's the offer, and you sell food, and the traffic source is people walking by that are hungry, right? Match the two together, you get an online, or you get a business. Doesn't matter if it's online or not, right? But that's normally where people mess up. They get the wrong traffic source to the wrong offer. They don't get any traffic source to an offer. They get a traffic source, but the offer's rubbish, right? So you need a high value offer and the right traffic source. Now, with Profile Mate, with this offer, it's literally businesses in the US that have staff, which is like the majority of businesses in America, right? Now, the traffic source, well, we can get business leads directly from Profile Mate. So it's as simple as getting the leads from Profile Mate, reaching out to them. Now, again, there's multiple ways you can reach out to them, whether you wanted to do it manually, whether you want to do it the automated way that we shared in our first welcome webinar, and a few other ways that I'll share as well. But reach out to them when the goal is to get them to then want to go through this questionnaire to save literally potentially hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in their businesses, depending on how many they have. And that's where your job stops. And that's why I love this system so much. As Brian just said, their team does the rest of the work for you. They get someone that gets on the phone. Like you said, they'll contact via text, via email, via phone until they get in contact with the users. That's where, like, write me in the chat box if that's where you would feel you would get stuck if you tried to do this all by yourself. Would be, okay, I need to pick up the phone now. I need to know how everything works in this type of business. I understand all businesses would love to have more money given to them for free that they don't have to pay back, but I don't feel confident enough in selling that to them. You don't have to do this. Brian's got his team built out like this way. And as you said, Brian, when you're talking about all the different areas of stages that the person that's opted in goes through to actually know where they are, have an understanding of that, the systems behind that, the accounting teams that you would have had to organize for this. That is all now can be a service to you guys here on today's training. It is absolutely insane. So if there's one offer that can just sell itself and do the work for you and really be a big game changer in your lives, this is the one. It wouldn't be fair if I showed you anything else aside from this as the first thing, and that I suggested to those that don't have a business to start selling. And if you do have a business, this is something you can do as well on the side, just like we saw in so many of those testimonials. And again, what's the benefit of it? The benefit for businesses is money, and it's very, very, very. You know, when I was sending my emails out for this training, I remember typing, we're going to show you how you can give businesses free money. And then I wrote free money, and I was like, oh, and I felt gross in myself. But then I'm like, but it actually is for the first time ever. So, yeah, and I think I edited it slightly, but because I know if I read that, I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I believe this guy, especially when a lot of you guys knew was working with me.
Number one objection is this real? I always tell people, because I'm like, Google, you know, if I'm chatting with somebody, I'll say Google IRS and ERTC, it'll come up. It'll say something about this page is outdated because they don't keep it up. But it's hard. Saying free money is so hard, yet it's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a refund or a rebate on payroll taxes, but that doesn't sound as sexy as free money.
Yeah. Very, very true. And you know, guys, what I loved about this as well is that, Brian, it's kind of like last week when we talked about email marketing and all of the things that go into email marketing, from warming up IPs to different servers, and different platforms allow different things, and all these different moving parts that we learned about. Then we shared a solution where you don't have to worry about all of those things, but you learned about them and understand a lot more about that specific industry. Same with this. Like, Brian shared a lot of different things here today, but if you didn't pick this up and you wanted to, I'm sure you've learned more about it. But to go out and physically set up all the moving parts, I can see why you had to leave your 8-figure business to do this. But I can also see why it's such a no-brainer to have done. And I can just imagine those little headaches that you would have had, Brian, when you like got too many people coming in and not enough accounting teams to figure things out, and just the things that go wrong when you start a business. And you can try to plan for everything, but you can't forecast everything of how things are going to go. But guys, this has been up and running now for a little bit, and this is just such a seamless business opportunity. And again, in a more like mid-high ticket bracket, which again, I personally, like I was saying to Brian before this, how a lot of my friends that sell products and create software and stuff, they only do high ticket products, and versus trying to sell something for $47 10,000 times over, you could sell like literally something for $4,700 and sell to what, 10 people, 100 people, whatever it is, way less, and you get way it's way more sustainable when you can get the right traffic to the right offer. And again, the beauty of this is with Profile Mate, unlimited amount of business leads we can get from there. And again, I saw some people asking in the questions, okay, how do we then connect this? Can you show us how to connect from Profile across to this? So what I've actually done is, for those that pick this up, what I might even do is I'll do it for the first 30. Let's just do first 30 that have picked this up through this webinar live. I'll give you access to a course. I actually made it because I saw that question come in a couple of times. So what I've done is I've built out a teachable course on this live training, and I'm going to spend today recording videos on that, and we'll probably even do a webinar as well. But later on, when I know Brian's been back to back with webinars today, and I know how exhausting that can get on the voice. So later on, I will go through that with you and share that bonus with you. And I'll add you guys into that live for those that pick this up live on this training for the first 30. So again, it's a no-brainer. If you don't have an offer, I would not bother trying anything else but this right now, because again, it just sells itself. If you're not confident in marketing, this just sells itself. And we're going to create a system inside of Profile Mate with our autoresponder and create a nice automated system here where we can just get leads coming in, and Brian's team can do the rest. But again, you need to be a part of this to do that. And again, if you think about like trying to set up accounting firms, trying to set up all these systems, all this back-end software, people calling that are actually good at sales, trying to do all of that, and you can be a part of that, and get a section of all of this for $297, guys. It's just a no-brainer in my opinion. So Brian, I'll let you answer some questions. I see there's a lot there, so I just wanted to say that though first.
No, I mean, spot on. I answered a bunch while Luke was chatting, you guys. So for instance, someone said, what about healthcare facilities? So we've done small hospitals, urgent care, doctors' offices. Somebody said, what about cannabis or CBD? All fine. Fundamental issue, they have to have W-2 employees. How long is this rebate? This will end in early 2025. Truthfully, we have 18 to 20 good months left. And I tell myself I want to do 5,000 to 10,000 more deals in that time for me. I want all of you to kind of hit your own numbers and goals, but there is no limit at all. Somebody said, Jennifer Wolf actually said, Brian, do you have a general percentage of leads that end up qualifying? I looked at that about a month ago, Jennifer. It was in the 65 to 70%. They do not all qualify. Very important. I wish that everybody qualified. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. If you ever see somebody say everybody qualifies, run the other way, because that's just not true. Somebody said, Brian, talk about the ultimate upsell. So there's a couple upsells. There's a $1 trial, which you can go into an intense, kind of a more advanced training group, not required. You may like it, you may not. It depends on where you are, right? I made sure to put everything in the base product to the point that you can be highly successful. There's a quick start with a lot of extra case studies. It's like a 14-day fast start. I think it's $99 or $97. And the only other upsell is this ultimate. Ultimate is the rest of the pie. When I had to split the offer up, it gives you more commission, a higher commission rate, and it allows you to have an entire team or network of sub-affiliates working under you. Other than that, it's the same thing. So you get paid more money on every deal, and you can have other people doing the work. That's the difference. If you know this is for you, I highly, highly encourage that. It will be available through tomorrow night at midnight, and then it will be gone forever. So it will be, we're going to turn it off at that point. How long has this been offered? Started in March of 2001. If you were here early, remember I told you the CARES Act created PPP, and this, almost every business did PPP. In middle 21, I was literally one of the only people. There was like 3 of us doing this. So it was like unbelievable. Now there's maybe a dozen real companies and a lot of affiliates. What about CPAs? Almost every CPA I know is not doing this. They are referring business to other people. All of my sub-affiliates are almost all accountants. There are other accounting firms and CPAs that are bringing in their deals. Somebody said, oh, where did it go? I lost it. Can I keep the leads to follow up with other offers? Honestly, Phil, it's such a brilliant statement. I started out doing exactly that. I would lead with this, because how do you beat free money, right? I would lead with this, and then I came behind it with other marketing that was on a recurring monthly fee. I will be honest, I've fallen down on it because I've been so buried literally with what we're doing. I'm getting so many on the front end that I'm not keeping up with the other stuff. You absolutely can do that. I did it. I added about 50 clients to my agency doing exactly that. Let's see. All right.
That's a good point that you made there. That I think I'll touch on a bit further. Is that, like, you know, sometimes the hardest thing with if you are doing local marketing, for those that are doing local marketing out there, some people are going to want to do this. They're just going to want to make commissions and then just feed the machine with new Profile Mate leads, get new or other traffic sources, and just start making commissions on this and just rinse and repeating that. But some people are going to want to then take those leads, say, okay, I've done this great service for you. And one of the hardest things for a lot of people, I know for me, when I first started my local marketing agency, this is back in probably 2012. It was when like MySpace, maybe 2011, MySpace was still around. It was actually funny, you were saying about SEO. The first course I ever bought online was Bring the Fresh with, I think.
Oh
Mark
yeah,
Long,
I remember that. Mike
Kelly. Yeah, gosh, he's a character.
He's a character. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and he taught me how to rank a site, and my first sale online came from ranking a site for how to cure yeast infections. I didn't know what a yeast infection was. I Googled it, found out very quickly. Not a nice thing to have, but it was a ClickBank ebook on that, and I ranked it on that. And then I was like, okay, SEO, I'm not the best at it, but I like social media. Anyway, went into social media, and there wasn't really any agency in Australia. I'd never heard of a social media agency in Australia. So I go into businesses, so you need to be on Facebook. They'd laugh at me, and they'd say it's like MySpace, it's for kids, we don't need to be on social media. And I get rejected all the time. Now the issue is almost flipped from that to every local business has tried some form of social media marketing, and they've had rubbish results from people just ripping them off, people not doing what they say they're going to do, spending money on ads that don't work because they didn't know what they were doing. And now one of the hardest things is to get that foot in the door for people to get that trust right out the gate, right? So with something like this, where you can prove to them that you can then get them money returned to them, and a lot of it, when they see that you've done that, they will look at you like you're some kind of superstar and change their lives in a lot of way, right? So then if you do have another suite of services that you are confident in that do get results, it's not hard to then convert them again into other offers as well. But I can imagine this would be a very addictive business, and I'm excited to give it a go from here in Australia. Because again, just referring leads across, and you then being able to have your team do the conversions, do the calls, make so much sense, answer any questions they have. It's just a no-brainer. For $297, I thought this was like a $3,000 offer, and just for this front end, what you're getting here, it's just a no-brainer. And again, you guys have the competitive advantage, the unfair advantage, because you have the lead generating machine of Profile Mate that you guys have just got. So it just makes perfect sense to take those leads, put it into this high value offer, and start making back. Imagine if you go out and get 1,000 business leads right now through Profile Mate. We then create a little email that gives value. We reach out to those users, and we then get them to come across and fill out this small questionnaire survey, right? That's job done. Say we, out of those 1,000, 100 people open the email, 50 people input their details, 10 people get called, 5 people convert. That 5 people can turn into tens of thousands of dollars like that. And that's something we can rinse and repeat every day, right? Now, again, what I'll probably do in next week's webinar, or if you have picked this up in the bonus, I'm going to share with you guys how to write the reach out emails, so you're not coming across as spammy, you're not just mass mailing people. And again, you won't be able to do that anyway if you're using our automated solution to mail. We're going to make sure that you are providing value, you are using personalization points, because again, like I always say, whenever you're sending an email, think about if you were receiving it, would you actually look at it as spam? Would you look at it as someone actually interested in helping you and providing value? And again, as Brian said earlier, or a version of this, money is always a byproduct of value. So if you're providing value first, you will make money on the back end. And that's the biggest change I've seen in every person that has done well. Goes by that logic of you need to give something to get something, right? And don't have the the mindset of like, I need to get something, so I need to give something. It's about giving and helping. And honestly, that's the best fulfilling feeling you can get. And when you guys start making these big commissions, you'll see that the money is cool. But when you see how happy and life changing to some of these people that something like this could be, it's just the best feeling in the world. So I know I rattled on there a bit. I'll let you continue, Brian.
No, it's okay. It was great questions from so many people. You guys, I tried to answer everybody I could. If it was the same question, I didn't answer it again, but I shared the ones that weren't private. So good one from Sally. I didn't answer privately to her or publicly, but how long is this being offered? So January of 25. Let's see. Yeah, it'll end in January of 25. You've got over 18 months. 18 months, somebody just told me, was September. Thank you, Christine. September of 24. So you've got time. What you don't have, right? There's no way to extend this. It is very unlikely, just being honest, that the U.S. government is going to extend the program beyond the current date. They changed it 5 times. You should assume that this will not be extended. You should consider, the way I look at every day, it's 7:55 where I'm at. I'm at my office right now. I look at every day as, if I let this day go, I lost that day forever. I lost the chance to sign up 5 or 10 entrepreneurs that need help today, right? Every single day I do that, and I'm like, how many am I going to get? 10. My best day, I got 40 one day, right? Wow. I did that with cold email. I had nothing fancy. Small batch cold email followed up with a LinkedIn, just a little 1-2 punch. Guys, everybody, there's no cost up front to the business. They don't have to pay anything. Here's the catch. Everybody wants to know the catch. The catch is this: 65 to 70% of them are eligible. Vast majority of people are going to be owed money. Some of them, the company's going to lose money on some. They make money on others. It all comes out in the wash. In the beginning of the process, the company asks the deal to sign a service agreement, a contract, right? And you know what it basically says this: they don't pay anything unless they're owed money. But if they are owed money, because the only way for us to figure out how much they're owed is to actually do all the work, right? That's why it takes a couple weeks. So the whole concept is, we're going to work for free for Luke's business for 3 weeks. At the end of the 3 weeks, we're going to call Luke up. Luke, I got great news. Profile Mate is owed $342,905.11. We chit chat, we go through a simple script, and guess what? We tell him the good news. At that time, we give him a couple opportunities. He can pay a reduced amount at that point. He can pay a deposit at that point and a lower amount later, or he can defer the whole thing and pay when the money comes in. Now, no matter what option he picks, we are now offering, about a week later, we reach out to Luke. Luke, it's Brian again. I got great news. I'm following up. I know you deferred the payment and you're just going to wait on the government. We have a bank that is wanting to provide rapid loans or rebates so you don't have to wait. Would you be interested in hearing more? And the bank, what they're doing is advancing money to the business so they don't have to wait 3 or 4 or even 6 months, right? They're going to get the money in just a couple days. So they have to meet a few basic criteria. They can't owe the IRS a lot of money. They have to be in business, I think, 2 or 3 years, and they had to have filed their income taxes for the business. So as long as they've done these very basic things, it's no personal guarantee or any of that kind of stuff. It's really, really easy to get approved. And the beauty is, they're now able to get their money right away. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret that I haven't told that many other people. When they get their money right away, guess when Joshua Parker or Adam Steinberg's commission comes? Right away. Funny enough. So it shortcuts the time to cash. absolutely amazing. We're just rolling it out. We've been doing it for over a year with hedge funds, and the problem with the hedge funds is they're really expensive and they have a lot of restrictive terms. The nice thing about the banks is they're more friendly to the business. It's less predatory, if you will. The hedge funds are very aggressive, and the banks are very regulated, and they have to stay within certain rules. So Deepan, where did you join from? Welcome. I just saw you just joined.
Awesome.
Super excited to have you.
Oh, what I want to touch on there as well is that was it 18 months? I think you said. That's actually can be a really positive thing in terms of you as the marketer or you as the person reaching out, because businesses like the closer it gets to that date, it's going to be. I'm sure a lot more people are going to be talking about it because it's and understanding it, and businesses that have heard about it are going to go, shit, I need to do that. I don't know what to do. And if you are there, again, it's all about timing in any industry, right? Like Brian was saying earlier, he's been at key points in the internet marketing world as they are just popping off, and that's where you need to be. You need to be ahead of the game, not learning something like when it's almost become obsolete, or when something's not in its peak time, right? And like Brian said, the majority of businesses don't know this exists. It's one of those things where I think about the most successful things I've done or successful products I've launched. It's always been around peaks of not peaks, sorry, the where there's enough traction that it's really making a difference, and you can see it's going to be the next big thing, right? This is here right now. You can jump into this right now. You can start making serious money right now, and you don't have to do not more than 90% of the work. And again, my bonus, you're going to get the full training that I've and I'll share my screen later on, showing you the course I just built out, and basically where we're going to get the leads, add them into our automated system, it'll send mails, it'll then convert users into the opt-in. Brian's team does the rest. You don't have to be an expert in this. That's what the investment in this is, so Brian can do this and his team can do this for you and for the businesses. And it's one of those very rare instances where everyone wins, right? Brian wins because he gets the business. You win because you get a part of the actual of the business that Brian's then converted for you, and the actual business itself that's getting looked after wins because they're going to get money they didn't even know they could get. It's everyone's making money, right? So it's just such a no-brainer offer to be a part of, especially if you haven't ever done anything online before, because you get all of Brian's expertise, sales knowledge applied to this offer, and all you need to do is just get those leads in, and that's where I'll share with you guys in my bonus video training. And again, like I said, if you guys want a webinar, we can do a webinar as well. That'll be included there. Also, I know there's a lot of people that are probably on this webinar watching this replay that did come from Brian's audience. So what I'm going to do is I'll give that course as well to Brian to give to anyone that picked up Profile Mate, or I can say I can find the who picked up Profile Mate from you, Brian, and just give it to them if they've already picked this up from you. So you don't need to get it through my link if you've already got it through Brian in the past. I'll make sure you guys can just have access to that as well, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to succeed with Profile Mate as much as possible, and I know Brian really looks after his audience, and I can tell that your audience is always so active, so good. So I appreciate that there. So that'll be included as well. I'll get that. Like I said, when I saw on this webinar a bunch of people coming in and asking, okay, how does this really connect to Profile Mate? While I will again, after Brian goes later, I'll back around and go through a little basic Profile Mate training that I did at the start of this training again. I'll give you guys the full blueprint course of how I would do this, and it'll just be a machine where you just get leads from Profile Mate, upload them, and have our automated email set up that I'll show you guys how to write. I might even give you the templates for those if you're interested, and we can then start sending traffic to the questionnaires, but you need to be a part of this at expressrps.com/go Luke. The link is in the chat box. Again, this is closing tomorrow night. That is my bad. I was going to send out this offer directly a couple of days ago. Then I got sick, and then I thought, you know what, I don't even fully understand everything about the RPS, and I want to be a part of this training and ask any questions that I have, which you guys have been so good at asking so many questions. So I will, this is one of those, make the decision. And if it's not this, what is it that are you going to sell? Are you going to try to create a Shopify store and try to figure out how to do drop shipping or something like that that's been done a lot? Or do you want to give an irresistible offer directly to businesses and help them save money right out the gate? I think probably the hardest part is making people believe that they can actually get all this money, right? So I'm excited to share with you how to do that in my little bonus. I know, like Brian said, he does, there's 3 calls a week he's doing at the minute for students. That's probably why I've never seen such an audience come from a partner that are just so in love with you, Brian. Everyone just loves you.
I don't know about that, Luke.
Yeah, they do.
I make a lot of people mad, and if I've upset you ever in some way, I promise. A lot of times in the whole one to many, and Luke will back me up, you don't mean to upset people. It just happens. So I appreciate that most people are happy, but I'm sure I've ruffled some feathers. And
well, that's fine. The majority, from what I've seen,
it happens.
From what I've seen, everyone does.
You've been around long enough, you're gonna tick some people.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. But yeah, okay. But any more questions here? I can see there's a bunch more coming in. And if there's any use of it that you want to jump on, Brian, let me know.
Yep, I'm seeing Rishma said, Brian, if someone calls ERTC, so yeah, let me explain how it works. So on your website, no one knows anything about ERTC.com at this point, right? When they submit a deal, sorry, my other monitor's over here, so when I'm looking that way, you guys, I'm watching us over here. When they submit a deal, they don't know ERTC.com yet. They know ERTC Express. And then what happens is one of the team calls them back. ERTC.com is really just the retail channel for me. ERTC Express is the company. When they call up, hi Rishma, this is Brian Anderson. I'm with ERTC Express. I'm following up on 123 Marketing, the business you just submitted, blah, 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 and they will go from there. They will reference the referral from you, and they will, if anybody asks, they will say, yeah, you're a licensed agent with us, I think is the words they always use. His question was, if somebody asks, what is my role? I want you to think about, if you're in the US, insurance companies use a network of agents. And so we have 100-ish employees right now, but we have thousands of agents. And agents, all of you guys are going to be asked to sign a very simple agreement that says you're not going to be a bad actor or do bad things. And it's part of the legal team's effort to create an official agent channel. You're also asked, when you sign up, you're also asked to fill out banking information. Now, you don't have to do it right away. I strongly encourage you to do it right away. Most people are making money. As a result, we run into roadblocks when people never fill out their info. So think positive, have, have faith, a little bit of faith, and you would be surprised. There are people on this call that have done deals. I know some of the people on this call. There are people on this call that have done deals with other companies. I'm not here to pick apart anybody else. At the end of the day, this is my vision for the right solution for me and for a lot of my customers and a lot of businesses. There are other ways to do it. There are large accounting companies in the US that supposedly will do this. I can only tell you my experience because I researched all of them early on. I want you to imagine they're probably good at accounting, but they don't have the front end for that follow-up. That whole follow-up and document gathering process is critical. What we did is hired ex-mortgage processors and ex-mortgage underwriters. The rates in the US had been climbing. Our QC team is made up of former mortgage underwriters, and the account executive team, a lot of them were mortgage processors. So they're good at the gathering documents and follow-up game. It's a very unique skill. I'm not personally very good at it, just being honest. But that ability to chase down people and get whether it's a check or whatever is needed, you have to do that. If that doesn't happen, the system breaks down. And the challenge at so many other companies, it may not be the one you're thinking of, but in general, the challenge at many other companies is they struggle gathering docs, or they maybe take a few shortcuts and they use software or offshore workers, both of which are fine. I would recommend those as an extra double check, not as the entire process. So when we got vetted by our banking partner, they wanted to meet our accountants. All the accountants on our team, let me restate that. Our primary CPAs are all W-2 employees. We do have two overflow accounting firms that will take business when we are just at maximum capacity. Right now, we haven't had to use them. We have enough CPAs on staff that actually, between them and our staff accountants, that do all the work. Let me grab, let's see, I know Luke's answering a lot of these. What disqualifies a business from funding? So if you had no W-2 employees, you wouldn't qualify. Or let's say you had the right amount of employees, you had 20, 30, or 100, whatever it may be, and you have to have an economic impact. So you had to have either lost money in a certain period when compared to a previous period in 2019, or you had to be affected by a government shutdown, either a full shutdown where they said, Luke, you got to close your doors, or a partial shutdown where they said, Luke, your restaurant, you have to space the tables like this, and you had to modify your operations. So they had to meet one of these two, and there's a little more to it, but they had to meet one of these two primary categories. If they weren't affected economically, then they're not eligible for the money. That's why it's not 100%. And you could argue that everybody was affected. And while I would agree with you in theory, there's a very strict set of rules that the IRS says govern who is eligible and who is not eligible. Our accountants just follow those rules. And by doing that, it keeps everybody kind of compliant, which is important.
And if you have picked it up on this call, drop in your link that you purchased with, because I'll literally just send you access to the course where I'll be adding in all those videos in the next 48 hours. Hopefully today, but I'll just give myself a day because you never know what happens in life. I'm actually moving house at the moment, which is why there's a very boring background behind me. I need to start dismantling all these stand-up desks later on. But I'm gonna get the videos. Yeah, I'm gonna get the videos done first because otherwise I'll be doing it on the ground and that'll look weird. So if you have picked it up, and I'll double check you did purchase it, so don't chuck your email in and be cheeky if you didn't, and it wouldn't really help anyway if you don't have this system. So, but chuck your email in, and I can give you access to that bonus now. Otherwise, I added in a Google Doc in the receipt when you pick it up. If you're watching this on the replay, if in the JVZoo receipt there'll be a link that says bonuses, and there's a little Google Doc there with the link that I'm about to send any buyers here. So let me know, and if you have picked it up through Brian in the past, don't worry, I will give it to you guys now. But again, in future, for anyone else, I don't promote many offers like Brian, and I think that pisses a lot of people off. But if it's not in line with what we're doing, I don't really share things. So or unless it adds massive value to your traffic source or massive value to your offer, then it's not something I really share. Yeah, I want to make sure if you are with Brian's audience in the past, I'll give you guys this as well. But in the future, make sure just to wait for my webinars. I'll always make sure you get the best deal. I'll always give you guys solid bonuses, and always hang around for as long as it takes afterwards to answer any questions as well. So Thank you. Got to see you there, Bambi. I'll send this through to you guys now.
I got to give a shout out to Joshua. Joshua said, I just stayed an extra 30 minutes working out because I couldn't turn off the webinar. So,
Yeah, I
way
saw
to
him
go.
earlier. He was.
You know
I
what?
think you said.
I got my running shorts. I went and worked out earlier, Joshua. Way to go, man. Good for you.
Oh, you guys are making me feel unhealthy. I haven't done anything. I did a leg workout yesterday, and I've only started training legs for the past month, and I can tell you, I do it every Tuesday, and it's Wednesday here in Australia now, and I always feel like I just need to roll around in my office chair all day because I can barely stand. It's no good.
No, that's awesome. I love it. How many of the Americans are like, what do you mean it's Wednesday? So
Yeah,
Luke,
in the future.
what is it, like 10 a.m. right now? 10:15 or no?
It's 10:15, correct. Look at you.
Damn. Only
Well,
you told me earlier what time it was, so I was able to keep up with it.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I see a bunch of people saying they're in. Again, if you did pick this up live, make sure just to tell me now. I'll just send you the link to the course I created. I'll populate this in the next 24, 48 hours, and we'll probably do a webinar as well. Cool.
Yep. Anybody? Is there any question on my side that I can help answer? Because Luke's doing a fabulous job on all these questions about the bonuses. But is there anything that maybe, I know how it is. You asked a question, it gets lost in a sea of other questions. Really wouldn't have intended to miss it. But if I'm missing one, will you let me know? Do this. Put like 3 Qs and ask it again so I can find it.
Yeah.
Luke's already in the future. It's Wednesday and we're in Tuesday. Julie called it. Julie said it. She's right. Let's see.
And if there's anyone on the fence, just let me just write OTF and like on the fence and let us know why, because it's sometimes you get in these webinars and you can feel like, oh, this seems really, really good, but you just might be on the fence and just not knowing if it's for you. So let us know what your concern might be, and we can see if we can help answer it and share whether it is or isn't for you, right? Because again, I'm sure Brian will agree, we only want people doing this that can see the value in it and that want to make big commissions through helping businesses. And it's, again, so perfect for those that are not super confident in themselves with sales or marketing. It's just because it's such an offer that helps right out the gate. There's no thought behind it needed for a business. If they can save or they can get rebates of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, it just makes complete sense. And then Brian's team can help them understand why it's important to do, why it would be too hard doing it themselves, why they can do it for them in X amount of time. And you can sit back and not have to worry about any of that and just wait for those commissions to come in. It's an absolute no-brainer.
Here's a great question. What about if a client gets audited? So it's a really good question. Right now, 2 years in, 20-odd thousand filings. None of our clients have been audited. Doesn't mean they won't in the future. Being candid, we have no idea, right? So a CPA signs off on every return, on every filing. So the beauty of that is that CPA is providing audit protection and defense if they were to be audited down the road. And there's a whole clause in the service agreement that explains how it works. But it's one of the benefits of having a professional license to practice in front of the IRS do the work. One, they're less likely to get audited, candidly. And two, if they do, they're able to justify how they qualified and how they did all the computations from one accountant to an IRS staffer. So it's a good question. We haven't had it come up. I'm sure by the time it's done, 1% of all the files or 1.5% may be audited. I don't really know. Let's see. Vita, let's see. Vita, you're like the nicest person I ever met, in case I haven't told you lately. Craig, send me an email, Vita, and maybe I could do something special for Craig. Just email me, let's see here, and I will I will see if I can help whoever that is. Just let me know, and I'm happy to do it. Let's see. Terrence Junker. Let's see. See if I can help you out. I'll have to get with the team in the morning, Terrence. But if you send me an email, I can try to see what I can do. Okay, great question from John Lynch, you guys. John just asked, won't companies with their own CPA want their CPA to do the work? I thought the exact same thing, John. So there's a concept in the US, and I imagine everywhere, of like an arm's length or a non-arm's length transaction. So having another licensed professional do the work is considered arm's length, right? And it's somebody else. So Luke's company gets audited, and the IRS goes, Luke, who did the work for you? Luke said, I did it. And he's an accountant, right? Or Luke says, well, I used this accountant, this CPA did the work, and it's a third party. I was very surprised, but John, yeah, most of the CPAs actually are very happy having other CPAs do the work. So it's interesting. I thought the exact same thing as you. Joel said, I'd like to purchase this. Yes, reach out through Luke directly, and we'll take care of you, Joel. Just make sure you reach out to Luke, and I will figure that out for you. And no, absolutely, I get it. Trust me.
I see a few people saying that the link I sent didn't work. I've just sent you a new one, guys. So just let me know if that one works. If not, I'll double check after. Again, I just made this live on this training when Brian was talking earlier in a small screen on the side. So I might need to do some fixes. But if I do, I'll just email it out to you guys after. So my phone's going off too. Everything's happening today.
Yeah, I totally get it. Jack had a good one. Jack said, Brian or Luke, what are the 5 biggest objections? I don't know if there's 5, but I can come up with some, or problems for businesses to respond. So the biggest one that I always hear is this real. Always going to be your biggest, most real one, easiest to debunk. So when our team calls them, we have like a frequently asked questions. So the customer may say this, and then you answer with this, and they have a whole litany of things. But the only real one is this real? That's the one that comes up the most. And then it's who are you? It's probably the second biggest. Third biggest is how do I know this is real? When will I get paid may actually be number 1. When will I get my money may be the largest. But those are the kind of questions that come up, that basic concept. And at this point, somebody just asked again if this is saturated. I would say the one vertical that has been marketed too heavily is probably restaurants. It is still a good vertical. I get a restaurant deal personally at least one a day, every day. It is 100% of the restaurants are going to qualify. And just because they may have seen it before, more than likely, they did nothing. So if you continue to market in that space, you will reap deals of people that are almost 100% qualified every time. You will run into people that maybe haven't acted yet. Think of you. Somebody just said a minute ago, Brian, I saw this webinar before. I can tell you this. This is actually the end for real. This is the last time we're going to market the program, the course, whether there's a free option, a paid option. Everything is discontinuing. And the reason is we have a lot of agents. We have an 18-month window. We have the capacity to go, I could go direct. I can do a lot of it. We wanted to have a critical mass because we wanted to be able to keep our accounting team completely busy because we hired a lot of CPAs. We wanted to be able to generate a lot of deals for our bank partner. They want to fund as many deals as they can. But at this point, it really will end tomorrow night. No fake scarcity. If for whatever reason, if you're on this call with Luke and you need an extra X amount of time, and I'm talking hours or maybe a day, reach out to him directly. And if you're on this call, we will honor that, right? And you have to be on this call. I literally mean that. I will find a way to work with him and make it happen for you. but it won't be
Thanks.
available down the road. And I'm not just being very transparent because I know people ask that. I had discontinued it for about 6 months until we were able to staff up to handle the volume. And now our staff is at the level that we can handle probably double the volume we have right now with the current staff. And so the whole point is when we cease this, we're going to wait. We're going to make sure we have the staff to handle the deals that come in. And truthfully, we're probably not going to open it again. There are other people in the market. We just want to focus on optimizing what we do and doing it better than the next guy. That's all. But I'm grateful you guys are all been here. I know you've spent a lot of time with us. If there's anything I can answer, anything you want to know that I didn't answer and I can help with, promise, I would love to do it. Can we use our own link? Okay, I like this question. Can we use our own link to sign up our business? Yes. Can we use our own domain? Yes. You can point your domain at the instantly created website and just mask it. Bambi said, Brian, I just got 2 restaurants. Way to go, Bambi. Bambi's in the Tampa Bay area, I think, if I remember. Let's see. Okay. Tracy Novak was able to get in, so Tracy, welcome. Can we upgrade later? Jack, I will more than likely honor that in general. It'll all map back, map back to Luke. If you know you want to get in and you can't afford the upgrade, I would encourage you to get in on the front end. We typically, look, I try to err on the side of the customer. Somebody just asked about refund policy, same point. If one of you is not happy, it's an unconditional, no questions asked refund policy, right? No questions asked. Are there any particular states where businesses need more help than others? Truthfully, no. Every state is good. If I had to like really answer that, I might say a state that politically has a governor that's a blue state or a Democrat. If you look up American politics, they had more restrictions than red states. I don't even mark it that way, but if I was going to do it, you could do that. Okay, what if the business owns multiple locations? Fine. They aggregate or combine them together. As long as they stay under the cap, you would be okay. All right. How long is the training? It's short, Mark. Less than 3 hours. Let me see. Yep. So somebody said when I'm choosing my unique field agent ID, you can change it later. For instance, put your name in now, and if you want to change it to something else, put in a support ticket. We can change it very, very easily for you. David, yeah, David here, if you want to send that to me, you're welcome to. David Kusky, good to see you. I haven't seen you, chatted with you in a while. And all right. Okay, last one for me. I think I exhausted them, but it's a great one about money. Jack said, how long would it take for a newbie to make money? You know, there's no real answer to that, truthfully. In theory, today, you could do your first deal today. In reality, I think it's realistic that you'll get a deal within a week. It'll take 2 to 4 weeks to get paid. Bank on 4, not 2. That's what I would do. So realistically, if you're just crushing it, like Bambi got 2 restaurants today, awesome. We have lots of people that are doing those kind of numbers every day, but I want you to say, all right, I'm brand new. Assume it's going to take you a week to your first deal, and assume it'll take you 4 weeks to get paid. Use that in your mind so you don't set unrealistic expectations. Monica's having a problem buying.
That sometimes happens, guy. Like depending where you're from in the world, you can just call the number on the back of your bank card and just say, yes, this is what I wanted. You know, bank securities are pretty wild. I sent Brian some funds the other day, and Yeah, and my bank decided to lock me out of absolutely everything. And then I listened. I was saying to
Sorry.
Vanessa, no. It's wild. Like compared to what I normally send to the US for different things, it wasn't that much. And then I got stuck listening to Coldplay's Paradise, which sounded like it was coming through someone holding like a Nokia 3310 up to a 1964 like radio. And I've heard this scrambled version of Paradise by Coldplay for about an hour, and then it was all good. And I heard, and then I also last week PayPal decided to freeze everything I had in there and tell me to upload Australia Post tracking to every order of Profile Mate, even though for the past 8 years, every 6 months I send them a letter that they ask for, saying what does my business do, and I'm saying intangible software. I don't send physical products out, but they still ask for like 1,000 Australia
Luke,
Post tracking. So
I'm telling you, the same thing happened to me, and with PayPal. After like almost 20 years with PayPal, the same account, one day they said I violated their policy. This is last October. I hadn't done anything different than I had done for years and years and years. And they asked me to send in a bunch of stuff. I answered every question really thoroughly and detailed. And they just told me, go away. And they kept like
yeah.
$2 million. And I said,
Oh
I'm
my
supposedly
god.
getting it back in March or April. So eventually I'll see it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason. For all of you marketers, PayPal should not be your merchant of choice. Backup,
No.
yes. Merchant of choice, no way. No way.
100% agree with that. You know, it's happened to me as well. I've had a from my very first software launch. I did. I think I got around $100,000, and then they instantly froze $80,000 of it, and it's still there frozen. And over the past 8 years, I've said, "Do you guys earn the interest on this, holding this money, or do I?" And no one can tell me, no matter what department they try to put it off to. No one can tell me. So yeah, don't let PayPal be your main uh, go-to um, transactor. Yeah,
Rough. You guys,
yeah,
it's so rough. It happens to so many people. Um, yeah, just I know it's unrelated, but it really is genuinely. Who would you use for a merchant account? I mean, the problem is Stripe. If you have a software, Stripe's probably a good option. If you're not using software, Stripe, if you're using an agency, Stripe tends to shut down new agencies a lot. You're going to want to find a high risk merchant. Honestly, if you don't do a lot of volume or you're new, um, there's a lot of those out there. Though I actually have one. I don't use it very often, but I have it's called EMS, Electronic Merchant Systems, and they keep a 10% hold on my money for 90 days, and 90% of it comes the next day. It's out of Ohio, but they're very friendly with refunds and chargebacks and stuff like that. As friendly as you can get, but
yeah.
I would
You got to
advise
spread
you
the
to
risk.
broker. Use a
Yeah,
broker and try to find the right merchant partner, and then it differs. If you're software, you're way better off than if you're agency consulting, because it's a lot harder in the agency world, you guys.
mm. Yeah. It's interesting. I actually got banned from Stripe before I even got to accept. I think I
Really,
accepted $5,000. It was when JVZoo first integrated with them. I think
me
I was the
too.
first person to like, or one of the first people to integrate to say yes, and then they said, "No, you're doing multi-level marketing," and I said, "No, I'm not. Would we send just referrals to one person?" And now everyone uses Stripe on JVZoo, but me. So I use BlueSnap, which is another option they use now for credit cards, and they've actually been really good.
I've seen that. I've never used it, so it's pretty good, huh? The Blue Snap.
Yeah, I've never had an issue. They don't hold any permanent funds. I think they did initially, and then they released it, and I've never had anything permanently held. Everything works seamlessly, so they've been a good one for me personally so far. Touch wood, but you never know what can happen. Things can just change at the flick of the dime, right? So far so good though.
Now,
But yeah,
just to be
Brian.
clear, you guys, you don't need a
Yeah,
merchant account for what we're doing
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah,
We're just talking big picture because somebody was having a challenge with payment. That's all.
yeah. Yeah. So
So
no one
Sally,
needs that for
welcome
what
to
you're
Sally.
doing here.
She just joined as well, Luke. So she's on board. And
Awesome.
okay, Lucinda, let me try to answer it. Is a retail store eligible? Yes. is an independent business owner, yes. It could be a McDonald's chain where Lucenda owns 3 locations, but it's not going to ever be like a store like Target or a corporate owned store like Dollar Store, if that makes sense. So Lucenda, yeah, it could be a chain if you're a franchisee and you own a couple locations or 1 location, but it's never going to be like a big corporation. No.
All right.
Cool. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
turn it over to Luke because my voice is literally
mate.
about to go bananas on me, and I'm out of coffee. So
No, I'm impressed with how you've done back to back to back webinars. Just so everyone knows as well, like it's an interesting thing when you're doing webinars and you're doing a launch week and you have to go back to back to back, and often majority of times the person that's holding the webinar isn't even on it, so it's just you, and then you're speaking and you don't have that break when someone responds to you, so you have to keep speaking. Otherwise, if we stop speaking to you guys, it would start to sound weird and a bit awkward.
This is the best ever. Can I just, for what it's worth, Luke is the best because I've done 11 or 12 webinars this week for other marketers, and only 1 other person showed up for the webinar, for what it's worth. Kudos to that person. But,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you know, I didn't do it just to give your voice a break. I was really interested in this, and I'm excited to try giving this a go too, because it just sounds like the next 18 months can be so profitable for those that take advantage of this. It's such an easy sell, and I know, Brian, I appreciate you being here live as well. Often, a lot of the time, people don't. People will just want to run replays, or people will just want to get someone else to do their webinar. And I can imagine that for a lot of people that have been in the industry for as long as you have, jumping on webinars, whether there's 30 people or hundreds like that's been on here today, can get a bit exhausting. And us as marketers, we try to automate everything. So I know doing these webinars can be for some people a big thing to do, but I can tell you love doing it. I can tell you love sharing this opportunity because it just makes so much sense. And if you guys are wanting to be a part of it, go to expressrps.com/go Luke. Again, I'll get that correct link for that bonus. It'll be in your receipt, and I'll also email out on it. I'm going to give another bonus away in a second that I've just decided I'm going to add into this, but I'll let Brian, you probably need some rest. Do you have any more webinars now, or you get to sleep?
No. I'm going to go have lunch/dinner, and I will hang out a little bit, decompress, get a haircut tomorrow. I'm very excited about the haircut. And other than that, I'm going to take it easy the rest of tonight, tomorrow morning, and get back at it tomorrow. But no, this is it for me. Good luck on your move, Luke. Yeah, I know how that got last year. Exhausting.
It's just about as stressful as a software launch, right? But maybe even more stressful at times. I don't know how. Like, I look at some of the stuff I have, and I'm like, first, why do I have this? And then I think, all right, like I've got this. It's called a Love Sack. I remember I bought it when I was going to my.
It's a big story.
It's this big like beanbag thing that has space foam in it, and it like I saw Snoop Dogg had one on MTV Cribs or something back in 2015. And I got one. Thing weighs like 100 kilos. Well, I don't know what that is like in pounds, but 200 pounds. And it's just the most brutal thing to get through doors. So I'm going to try tackle the hardest things first, because I know if I don't do that, it just won't get done today. So we'll do that. But before I go, I'm going to go and I'm going to try to tie it all together. But Brian, you can go. I appreciate you so much. If everyone's still here, give a big thanks to Brian for being a part of this. I know it's exhausting after a big day, but you did not show it one bit. It's probably because, again, you just enjoy doing what you do, my friend. So I appreciate you.
Thanks, Luke, and take care. Safe, happy move. Awesome. If that's a way to be happy, but happy move. And the other side, I'm sure will be better. But everybody, thank you so much, and honestly, grateful to be here. Thanks so much, Luke.
Awesome.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Okay,
all right, guys. So, bye. So what I wanted to quickly, why is this being weird here? Hopefully that shows. What I want to quickly do is add in this extra bonus. Actually, before I share this extra bonus, I'll show you what I planned for our VIP course. So this will be the link you'll get. You can enroll for free. And again, it will be in your receipt. Otherwise, I will make sure to also get the buyers list and send this out. But basically, where did we go? Let me go here. I'll show you what the modules are that I'll be adding videos into. Courses. So again, I made this live on this training, so I've got to add it and populate these areas, but we're going to go, oh, I can see that's still showing, so I don't know why it's doing that. Let me show my main screen first and then try to jump back over and see if that works better now. Okay, that should be better. Is essentially, I'm going to show you guys how to find leads that are based in the USA, that are businesses, business email addresses with Profile Mate. I'll even show you that one for free on this webinar right now. Then we're going to go ahead and structure our email. So we've got the leads, we need to reach out to them, and the goal is to get them to convert into the questionnaire, right? So how do we do that? And how do we do that the right way that actually gives value? So from there, we're what we want to then do is set up a secondary email. So say someone responds saying, oh, not sure, or they all about this, or they don't open it. We have a backup fail-safe offer. And that's going to turn people from being, oh, I'm not sure, into, okay, yes, I'm going to want to trust this person, and I'm going to fill out this questionnaire, right? And that's going to be, I'll share with you that the fail-safe offer, and this one always works for businesses, is saying that you will give them 5-star reviews on their social profiles. You'll increase their social or their Google review scores. Now, I'm going to do this with, I'm going to give you guys actually direct access to my internal review team, where you can essentially just buy a couple of reviews at cost price. So $5, any location. So say you wanted to go work with a surgeon or a restaurant or whoever it is, and they say, yeah, this sounds all right, but how do I know you're legit? You can say, okay, well, let me actually do something for you first. So you can even say this in the first email. Say, hey, I found your Instagram profile, absolutely love it. I see you're a business here based in Tampa, based in New Orleans, based wherever you're thinking of targeting, and you can target all of America. You can see a business based in the USA. What I want to do is actually give you 2 free Google reviews, and if you ever want to do more in future, we can. But I'm going to give you 2 for free. Let me know what you want them to say. That gives them a reason to reply. And you can say also, we would love to get to do all of your or we'd love to offer you a service where we can actually get a bunch of money back from the tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars returned to you if you have employers through the ERTC system. So we're going to segment that out. You can copy and paste the emails. You can tweak them. Might even use. I'll actually add in another video into this bonus here, where we can use ChatGPT to actually create us a really high converting email that we can do there. So you don't even have to write it or even copy and paste ours. We're then going to do our first outreach email. We're going to do this through Mailvio Prospect, our autoresponder system that we've created specifically for Profile Mate users. But I will also show you how to manually just send these emails out manually. But again, the goal is to then have, say you send 1,000 emails, 100 people open it, 50 people click on the questionnaire link and say, yes, okay, this sounds good. And you get 10 people that then, 10 people that get to the end and they are suitable for this. Those 10 people, you then make bank on them, and Brian's team does the selling, does the calling, does absolutely everything for you. So again, make sure to go to the link in the chat box here and pick it up here. Now, again, I said I'd finish off with how I started this training, how to find business leads. Again, and in Profile Mate, hold on, let me open up a new Profile Mate. Again, as always, since I'm in here, I want you guys, if you ever need support, hit the support button up here or lukeswell.com/support and open a new ticket. That's where our team can help you with everything you need And if you are installing it for the first time, make sure to watch this welcome video here and follow it exactly step by step. There's a couple of, it's a one-time install. You follow it a couple of times. So you follow this video exactly. It only takes a couple of minutes. You install it once, you don't need to do it again. So ProfileMate, let's find some business leads. Let's say I wanted to find leads in New York. And let me turn my webcam off because my internet seems to be going a little slow here. Let's go. Let's see if it wants to load for me on here now. I did this before. Let's go. Oh, I just didn't hit search. So I typed in people Rodeo Drive. So this is going to find me users in Rodeo Drive, and you can literally get as complex or not complex as you want. We downloaded 86 users. Again, for this example, we're just going to download that. I could let it keep searching to get to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, but for this example, just because we're at the end of this training, I know it's been long. We're going to go down here. Open a new Google Sheet. And I'm going to go import. And again, you would just normally open this up in Excel. Import data. And again, if there's some people here that don't have ProfileMate, you can find this information out manually. What I'll do is I'll share the replay of the ProfileMate welcome webinar to those that are not a part of ProfileMate separately after this. And you can see how to do it manually, but grabbing ProfileMate is just such a game changer for traffic, and it just guarantees it, which is just the coolest thing ever. So go step 2. So we've got this document, we copied the usernames. Step 2 is we want to then paste them in here. You can see they're all here. I'll call this Rodeo set. We'll search for all the parameters. Sorry, you can tell it's been a big few days. And already 2 emails. Now again, if I only want the users that have their email, and I want them to be a business, right? This is how I can segment out businesses from just general people. Businesses. Already got 3, 4, and I'm only searching 80 leads. All right. So let me just download that. Just so I want them to be a business account, and I want them to have their email available. So I'm going to go ahead and open that real quick. Import, upload. Actually, let me just drag and drop like this. All right, so 3 business emails straight out. So 3 of the 4 were businesses that we just searched through. And one's a makeup artist, one's a fashion designer, and one looks like they have their own creator studio of some sort. So we can then take these emails, either contact them manually, or like I suggest, use ProfileMate, scan a lot more profiles, get 500 emails, 200 emails, 300 emails, and then automate it with our automation solution. Who has not seen our first welcome webinar? Let me know. Let me know if you have not seen our first welcome webinar. Let me just see how I can get it up for you guys. Yeah, so if you want to go check out our first welcome webinar, maybe do it over the next day or so, because you've probably been on here for a little bit. I'll put that in the chat box as well. It's just neilvio, neilvio.com/profile, mate. But check that out at a later date. That's when we go through email marketing, taking these email leads, uploading them into an autoresponder, but of course you're going to, in this bonus, I'll go through doing that here for you guys as well. Just give me a little bit of time to get this filled out and sorted for you guys, because I decided I'd do this on this live training, but I will get that there. And also our welcome webinar offer will be closing next week for that autoresponder we've built for you guys at the price that we've given it there. Again, it's so cheap compared to if you went with Aweber or something, or some other autoresponder. I think I shared live on other trainings. On the welcome webinar, I share it, how Aweber was costing me $600 a month, which is ridiculous. And you can get started for less than half that with an autoresponder that does way more and allows you to email cold leads, and it's purpose built for cold leads. So you guys have a really unfair advantage here, guys. Really, really unfair advantage, because you have an irresistible offer that any business would suit that has staff in the USA, and you don't have to be in the USA to take advantage of that. That's such a big thing. You have Profile Mate that can literally find you those leads. If you picked up our autoresponder last week, you will also get our Google business searcher that's included with that. That will search businesses in any niche, give you their email addresses, give you absolutely everything to contact them, and you can apply the same concept as what we just did with Profile Mate. I know I just shared with you how to search via locations, but again, you can then also search via, let's say there's a big business in America. What's a big business that's in America? Let's even just say, let's say Bellagio Vegas. Does Bellagio Vegas have a or like, why don't you guys give me a name of a big business in America, and I'll actually do a live search for you guys. Walmart. Yeah, should have just thought of that. Walmart. Let's see if they've got an official Instagram account. So I can either go through all of the followers of Walmart. Let's see what Walmart looks like over here, actually. Okay, so Walmart has 2.9 million followers. If 1 in 10 users have their email in their bio, that means if I went through, say, 3 million followers, I get around 300,000 email addresses. Out of them, how many are businesses? Well, we would find out, but there'd be tens of thousands of businesses that follow Walmart. And you'd only really follow Walmart if you're from America, right? So we could use that as a search. But what we can also do in Profile Mate, we know that's a big business. I could then also search for similar accounts to Walmart. Search. Turn my webcam off so you can see. My internet's having a time of its life today. Similar accounts. It's having a mind of its own, but essentially what it'll do is it'll if I'm going to follow them just to show you this. Oh, that's why. Sorry. Actually, this is a good, I think, reason that this happened. So when I say you first install Profile Mate at app.profilemate.com, when you log in, it'll ask you to add in a brand new Instagram account. We say in the video, add a brand new one. This account here, this is an account that I've had for a long time. I used to travel with it a lot. So I'd be logging in from all over the world. But over the past couple of years, because of the whole pandemic and everything, I haven't really traveled at all. And I was saying Instagram's creepy. Instagram is creepy and knows your movements, right? So Instagram now knows that this account really only logs in on my phone here in my location in Australia. So when I'm using it with ProfileMate, ProfileMate will connect with it from an IP address. It might be on the other side of Australia, or it might be in America, and it'll say, hey, we just want to confirm this is you. But when that happens, it'll freeze your searching until you just go, yes, I'm not a robot. Yes, it was me. It's fine. Everything's safe. Don't worry. And then now it'll work fine. So if I go back over into ProfileMate, if I went Walmart now, let me just refresh this page. But with that example, if you use a brand new account that has no history, when it instantly logs in with ProfileMate, that will become the norm. So Instagram will think that's the norm for that account. Let me go back, fine. So let me just do another search here. It always happens on webinars when things just don't want to play ball with you. Let me just click out. Again, sometimes you might face this issue. Hopefully not, but oh, that's why. Again, just I must have taken too long to verify. So just use a brand new account so you don't ever have to worry about that issue. So let's try again. See, now we're good. Walmart, let's find similar accounts. Target, Macy's, Amazon, Big Lots, TJ Maxx, Old Navy, Home Depot, Kohl's, eBay, and you can go through all these pages and start searching through these users and then segmenting out the users. Then go to step 2, paste the usernames in here, and then at step 3 down here, sorry, step 4, when you download the data, just click yes to businesses. But again, I'll go through all of this in the little video course I'll give you guys as a bonus. You guys will also get access to my source of reviews for the failsafe, and you can even use this as a full-time business as well if you wanted to. Going to local businesses, and I love doing this. Imagine going to a local business. Say I went Google plastic surgeons Sydney, for example, and then I scroll down to these places section where the reviews are. This guy's got a 5-star review. This guy's got a 3.8 star review. Who's got a really bad one? It's probably not the best example of me sharing this one because I've shared this before with people, and they've probably gone in and fixed everyone's reviews. But you'll start to find people that have no reviews, and you'll often find people. That's like, I'm going to change the search term because I think everyone that I've taught's already banked on that. But you can see if you're going to go to a surgeon, you're going to go to a 5-star or a 4.3 star, right? Or 3.7 star. This person needs some help with their Google reviews. So you can then use this service to sell to a plastic surgeon. Hey, $5,000, I'll get you up to 5 stars, so you'll actually make a lot more sales. We need to give and this is again where the transparency that I always try to teach. Say, look, can we get some customer reviews from your customers, and we can then actually get them added for you, so the customer doesn't have to actually do it. But some people just take it and write fake reviews, and honestly, most of Google, I wouldn't trust any of these places for reviews because they're so easy to manipulate, and it's just one of those things in the industry of how it goes. So again, more on that inside of the training you'll get, but again, the link is here. I know this has gone for a while, team, but I want, if you guys are in, let me know. expressrps.com/Luke. And again, if you want to see the first week's webinar replay, I'll send that in. I'll send out the first week's webinar replay, which is also in the chat box over here. Or you can get today's deal here. Now, questions, let me know. I'm waking up for a second.
Okay, cool. Yep. Bonuses for Melvio. That offer will close in the next few days, probably the end of the weekend. I'll close it. John also says I've not got access to LSA. I'll be sending that this week to all of the bundle members. If you pick up the bundle of Profile Mate, you get access to my LSA high ticket course. Monica, I know you can use the same Instagram account for that. Amy says you've had a few Instagram accounts get closed. And when you create one, just set it up, add in your name, go ahead, add in two-factor authentication, add in a mobile number or an email. Just make sure it's just set up in that sense. You don't need to, like, you add a photo or two. It can be just a screenshot of something if you wanted to. Basically, sometimes Instagram can look out for accounts, and especially if anyone's ever had accounts in the past break terms of service. I'll just check your IP to make sure that you're doing everything right. If it looks like a dead account with nothing on it, they could have an issue. Usually, like 99% of the times they don't, but just try to fill it out a bit more. If you get stuck still, let me know. But that's more of a Instagram monitoring accounts validity. Melvio, I'll send that to you here. Jeffrey says you purchased Melvio a couple of weeks ago. It was out through me privately. If you should have got them if it was like a month or two ago. My internal audience, I know you're in that, Jeffrey. So I'll double check on that. I'll make sure you get sorted for that as well. If you need contact with me, you can contact me. The best place to honestly contact me is through our support desk. I'm in there. I've got my team in there too. We give you same day support. We are in the top 1% of Freshdesk users. And that way we can monitor your tickets, ensure everything's seen, ensure you get handled ASAP. Again, to get to our support desk, you just go into, well, it's in your welcome email under the first dot point. It's in your JVZoo receipt. It's in JVZoo next to the product purchase. It's in the every webinar I've shared the link a few times today, or it's just lukeswell.com/support. Then click create new ticket. Or if you're inside a Profile Mate, this button up here, hit support. You'll see our frequently asked questions. Most things are usually answered here. Then you can click raise query. This is the same for any of my other products, Advert Suite, StoryMate, Inboxer, but all of the other products I've got out there, our support desk will still be there. So Marie, we've actually, the Profile Mate launch was last week. That's over now. The prices have gone up for Profile Mate, but if you did want the bundle, I can give you that $100 discount if you decide that's going to be for you. Sure, I can do that for you, Sally. And Jeffy, yeah, the bonus last week. Sorry, I think you said you bought it a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, again, I think I mentioned this a few times on this training that Neil's bonuses will be sent out when that offer closes, which will be later this week. Price will be going up by like $1,000 for that, and the bonus is removed. So then I'll get the full buyers list off Neil, and then I'll add you into all of them because again, they're pretty custom bonuses that I manually need to get you guys added in. And if you've already got it with Brian, you'll get my bonuses for Profile Mate, of course. I just need to make sure you did get it from Brian and not a different affiliate this week. So I'll double check that. It's these bonuses aren't for if you picked it up through a different vendor that might have shared Brian's offer. But if you picked it up through Brian directly in the past, because he promoted Profile Mate and so many members came to me from that, I thought I'd give it to all of his audience too. Yeah, Amy, I'll have a look at that too. Darren, living in Robina, mate, for sure. I'm always keen to catch up with people that are in the area. I've just got to let me get through this move first because moving is the absolute bane of anyone's existence when they have to do it. Can't wait for it to be over. Then I'll be looking forward to a beer. Alison says, how do you know if it was through Brian or someone else? JVZoo tracks everything, so I can have a look at that there. But I'll get Brian to send it out to all of the people that he sold ProfileMate to, and also anyone that's bought from him direct. So again, bonuses, last time I'll run through these, is that you get my whole course here that I decided to create on this webinar because I saw people saying, how do we tie this into ProfileMate? So I'm going to give you this course that I'm going to fill out over the next 24 to 48 hours. Again, Brian's deal is only open for the next 24 hours, I believe, so he might extend it for a day for us or for my audience, because I have shared this somewhat late. So there's that. And then you'll also get access to my personal internal team that can do reviews for local businesses, and you can then buy these reviews at cost price. These are also location based, so say you want 100 reviews that come from Queensland, Australia, you can. If say you want 200 reviews or 20 reviews that come from Cardiff and Wales, you can have that done, right? And again, it's for all these sites, plus a bunch of other sites as well. So I'll give those to you guys. Cool, Alison. I'll make sure that that's checked out. Do you use Twilio with ProfileMate? Yep, you can do that with the mobile numbers for sure. But I mainly focus on email more than text message campaigns. Terence, I think I've said 5 times to that question. I would check to see if you did. I've been on this webinar, so I've not had a chance to watch last week's webinar to see if you did. So I will do that. I've just got to finish this one first. When will you start getting access to the course for the RPS offer? Look, like I said, 24 to 48 hours. I'll be having all those videos up. What are you giving on the review bonus? I'm giving you guys access to my reviews bonus, to my internal team that can create these reviews for you and post them and get it all done for you. And that ties into our course here as the fail-safe offer. Say they don't convert to the RPS offer right away, or they're a bit iffy about, do I fill out this random questionnaire? You can actually do something for them and say, look, let me give you 5-star reviews for your business. Would you like that? You'll get way more opens, way more responses. It's a really nice little extra lead magnet that will then show that you can do that, so you get more conversions into the RPS system. And it says, do we need Melvio to send mass mails? Look, there's a few different ways you can send emails in bulk. Melvio is definitely the best way to do it, because you can treat it like an actual autoresponder, and it is an actual autoresponder, and you can use it for all other autoresponder businesses as well, right? Not just cold leads. You can do opt-in sales pages, opt-in pages, webinar, all the stuff that's included in there. But you can either do it manually. There's tools like Gmassmailer that'll send emails one by one by one by one for you. You can just upload the list. But in terms of insane efficiency and saving so much money in the long term, I think it works out to be about $80 a month for the first year, and then $20 a month after that for over 15,000 leads. And you can email cold emails, which again, 99% of autoresponders don't let you do. And if they do, they charge you for warmed up you have to either bring your own IP address and all these things that cost so much. It's all done for you in Melvio. So I'd suggest going and checking out the replay for that. Jamal, so I'll get that list from Brian and I'll send it across. Alison said, I recently signed up to Brian's instant reply. Is it overkill as well? I haven't actually checked that instant reply. So I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'll have to speak to him further about that. in terms of Melvio, it's a full autoresponder. It allows you to email cold leads. You get warmed up IP addresses. Everything's handled our side. If you burn an IP by mistake, and then your emails start going to spam and promotion tabs and all that type of stuff, we fix it for you. We give you a new warmed up IP. You don't need to wait 6 weeks to warm up an IP. You don't even need to know anything about IPs, essentially. We handle everything for you. We built it for ProfileMate users. Correct, Darren. No, and the only thing outside of that for Melvio is that getting a domain name, so you can actually email from instead of an @Gmail, you can actually email it at anh.com or at anh.net or whatever you want to use for your email. It's about $9 a year, I think, domains. You can even get discount codes to make it cheaper. John, I've answered that question about 10 times now, so I'll send the replay. You can check that one out here. People say, Niels, is the Melvio deal one time or lifetime? So it's, like I said, works out to be, it's a recurring, like autoresponders cost money to run every single month. There's not a single autoresponder you'll find that's a lifetime deal. However, instead of having to pay $600 a month like you would with Aweber for the equivalent, and it actually does less and doesn't even let you email cold leads, that one will actually allow you to do cold leads. It's at 80 something bucks a month, 15,000 leads, and unlimited mails to them for the first year, and it's $20 or something a month ongoing per month for the second year if you choose to continue. So yeah, if you've already got a domain, you're good to go. Jeffrey says, do you plan on doing other trainings for ProfileMate, Melvio, and RPS? Yes, 100%. I'll be using Melvio almost every week, and I'll also be showing how to do things more manually. But again, it's all about numbers, getting scale, getting as many emails going out as we can. When people don't open, not getting worried about it, removing the unopens, adding new emails in, and making that automated machine that all you need to do is upload and feed new emails into the machine. And then it goes from getting leads in ProfileMate, everything else is automated, from sending emails, converting them, the offer at the end. Again, this RPS deal is an absolute no-brainer. So let's, again, the link's here, express, rps.com/go-luke. Make sure to be a part of this team because it's, especially if you don't have an offer, because it just makes sense. You can go here, hit buy now. You can check the sales page out if you want, but get in. Again, there's less than 20, I think tomorrow night, so 24 hours left. It's done. He will probably extend it. But for me, for another 24 hours. So I'll get the replay out. Thank you, Alison. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. And says, is the price annual for Melvio? Yeah, it's annual, but again, it goes down by something like 75, 80% for the second year if you choose to stay with them. So you don't have to stay with them, but you'll see that there's no other tool that lets you send cold emails, gives you IPs, ensures you land in the inbox. If you burn an IP, they replace it. You get personal onboarding with them. There's so many things all included. I just suggest watching that replay of the first week's webinar, and it will go through absolutely everything for you there. Terrence, it'll be all set up tomorrow. Robert says, can't find the bonuses. That's because I have not sent them out yet. I've made these live on this training. I'm not going to keep repeating myself on this one, guys. I feel like you're pulling my leg a little bit here. But again, bonuses for Melvio will be sent out at the end of the week. Bonuses for RPS, I'm going to do these videos and you'll have a Google Doc in your JVZoo receipt that has this link here. It has this here. So it'll have the link to it. Again, this is the wrong link, so don't even try copying that because it won't work. I've got to update that, and that will then give you access to our course about using ProfileMate with the VIP course. It'll be something like this. So give me a little bit of time. That'll be added in for you. And then people that pick that ProfileMate bundle, I'm going to send you guys the link out today, actually, to get into Local Social Academy. So first webinar, our link is in the chat box. I'll send it to you privately here again. And also I'll send it in the replays. Make sure as well to just start my emails in your inbox. I'm not one to email a lot. I know I have sent a few emails since we just launched Profile Mate, but ongoing, I don't promote much stuff. I know I've shared this offer here today, and I've shown you how to contact leads mass scale last week, but this is not how things will continue to run, in the sense of always being offers. Even though every offer I will ever share, you'll be learning a lot as well prior to it. There's never just something like buy this. So, but honestly, I'd say 10 months of the year, you won't get offers from me, right? I just give pure value training. I don't promote a lot of products because a lot of, that's one really good way to have zero direction in where you're teaching your students. Two, very easy way to burn a list. It's why you see a lot of people that launch new products every month, every other month. There's a few people that can do that and they do it the right way, and they don't absolutely spam their lists. But my goal is to take you guys on a journey with me. I want you guys to work with me long term, and I want to only give you things or share things with you that will help with exactly what it is we are doing. And whatever I do share, I try to give as much free value and free tools and free things that you can do that other people aren't doing or haven't caught on to yet. But sometimes there are tools out there that will really help you that do cost money. Like I said, this deal today with RPS, with Express RPS, having it, I couldn't imagine getting a team of people that can close sales for me, an accounting team that can do all of this with the US government now, and then all I need to do is sit here in my house in Australia and send traffic to a questionnaire. But then doing that, I'm now part of a business where there's sales callers, there's people converting, there's people taking them through the steps, there's people getting money back, there's people then paying checks out to you, to all these other people. And you can be a part of that for $297. Guys, no brainer to be a part of. Jump in on it, expressrps.com/go Luke. This has gone for how long now today? Over 3 hours. So let's end this one here today. I appreciate you all. This webinar is going to be, again, Express RPS closes in the next 24 hours. He said he would extend it. I'm going to push him to extend it a little bit. Jennifer says, I like that. Too many shiny objects are a bad thing. That is correct, right? Terrence says, you bring more value than anyone I've listened to. I appreciate that as well. So in saying that, guys, jump on this next week. What we're going to do, let's jump into looking at e-com, local, and affiliate, and Express RPS. And let's get into some live examples of your businesses that you already have set up, and let's do some live case studies on those. Let's go into the world of AI as well, and how to use AI to automate tasks, like even things like take this file and upload it into Mailvio for me, so you never even have to do the importing. There's some crazy things we can do in the AI world now when it comes to traffic generation and automating those little steps in between, right? So let's do that. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Alfredo. Thank you, Julia. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close my eyes, choose someone now, whoever I land on. So, right, if you enjoyed today's webinar, write yes. Christine Jaraja, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm going to give you $50 now, and so send me your PayPal email. And Mark Hoverspeen, I'm going to give you $50 as well. So I appreciate that. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to give someone a $400 coupon to one of my other products. Jennifer Wolf, you can send me your email, and I'll give you access to any of my other products up to $400. So got that. Let me just write these down in my notes. And I think from the week 1 webinars, I'm just going to double check my team paid those prizes last week. If not, I will go ahead and get that done. There you go, $600 in cash and prizes today. Terrence, I have to check if you won on last week's webinar. You didn't win today, mate. Don't try to trick me. All right, guys, cool. All right, I'm gonna drink some water, have some breakfast. Let's all have a great few days, and I'll see you guys next week, same time. Appreciate you all. I'll send this replay out today as well. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye. Get expressrps.com/go Luke. Thanks, guys. Bye.